All right.
All right, we do it live.
We do it live?
We do it live. This is the 10th annual, based on whatever the fuck I said last time. This should be the 10th annual. Who knows at this point? Um, and we're covering
Falcon Winter
Watchmen.
Soldier, right?
Oh, this is awkward.
So, but I just spent 10 hours watching Falcon Winter Soldier. I know it's only
well,
6.
I've heard of that. There is a Shield. Let me go Google a 5-minute review on YouTube and tell you how much it sucked. As is tradition, go watch a fucking YouTuber who tells you how terrible everything is all the time.
Yeah.
But
Well, go well.
huh?
Talk about Watchmen? We're gonna talk about Watchmen?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a good.
Theatrical release.
Huh?
Theatrical release, right?
No, we're not doing the theatrical release.
Oh shit. Comic book?
And the only reason, actually, I bought the comic book one, the DVD for comic book one, right?
Oh yeah.
I bought that, didn't watch it.
I haven't watched it. I've only read it and
But it was
watched
seven. It was $7. It was like something comic book, something DVD for Watchmen. I was like, that sounds cool. I was like, how much is it? $7. I was like, well, shit, buy it. I'll never watch it, but for $7, I'll waste $7. Fuck.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no. Oh shit, I have notes. I'm a note taker. Bottom
Yeah,
line, the
nice.
movie was pretty good.
Pretty
Uh,
good.
yeah, the
Hmm.
movie was pretty good. I want to give it like better. um, well, when I say pretty good, I don't know. I think about that movie. I think about overall. Mm, it's got to be pretty high, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It's got to be. There's no way it's less than an 8. But I don't know if it deserves a 10. Based on my scale, it should get a 10 because I can't think of anything it did particularly wrong. So it's like, well, then it gets a 10, which is how it should
You
be.
said there's too much sex going on in it.
Well, the tits and ass were fine, but a couple scenes were a little bit dragged.
Yeah.
Um, I did think a couple scenes were like, come on, really, you're done? Or the John Dick scenes. I was like, I get it, Dick's out, and it was cooler. I think I did watch the theatrical release when I was younger, and I don't remember that much tits and ass or that much dick. It was like the dick showed up once on Mars, and that was it. And I was like, oh shit, Dick's out, let's go. And it was kind of funny. It was like, oh shit. But I do remember a lot more dick and then a lot more tits and ass when it came to the director's cut version. But overall, it's not so bad. It's a little bit. That's a little bit of a takeaway, but not too much. I wouldn't even give it maybe a 9.5 at that point because it didn't help the plot. Like you could have ended those scenes or whatever, or censored John, or fucking ended whatever, and they would have been fine
Yeah.
regardless. So maybe you could take that away. But overall, it just didn't do enough. But that's not fair. When I say it didn't do enough, what the fuck does that mean? Because it did everything. Like it was a fully enclosed circle, and I think the reason and this is why I think if I had to give this movie a rating, it would be a billion out of 10 for stupid movie snob critic assholes, because it had a lot of things that don't strike with the regular like people, right? It's a movie about heroes and shit, but there was nothing really heroic except the fucking lies. You know, all the lies they lived as their own heroes, but there wasn't really nothing heroic about it. So when I think about like action, heroics, Marvel movies or shit like that, 80s action movies, right? It doesn't have any of that. At least not much. But it's compelling as fuck. And it's super realistic. And I think it draws the line between what I talk about and what I know can't exist. Like it draws a pretty good line, probably the closest line you can draw between realistic and actually interesting. Because realistic things suck, right? There's no drama in real life. Nobody gives a fuck about you in real life. You don't do anything interesting in real life. Even if you're successful, you still don't do anything interesting. Like, I want you to think about the most famous movie star. They're literally at their house working at McDonald's trying to be a movie star or some shit. They wake up in the morning, they half-ass, get ready, they brush their teeth. Oh, today sucks. Let me just go to work. They get done at work at McDonald's. Then they go to like an audition they had, and they say, "Yep, here we go again." They do a half-ass audition for a part they don't really want, and then it's like, "Oh, hey, you seem pretty good. Oh, wow, thank you for this opportunity." Then they take it and do a half-ass part. It doesn't matter, and then they get successful somehow by the grapevine. They go to a party and they meet somebody, and things happen over time, but none of it is interesting to watch.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't really give realism a movie. It has to be fake. It has to be over the top somehow. It has to be something interesting that's fantasy in some way. The most realistic movies are fantasies. The gangster movies you watch. Oh, it's a cool gangster movie. No, the fuck it's not. Real gangster lives are not that exciting. They rarely get into gunfights because most of them will fucking die. Like,
Yeah.
you don't see that shit. Real life sucks.
That's actually funny because the comics yeah, it's a more realistic. They're like the fight scenes are not as like cool choreographed fight scenes like they are in the movie in the comic
Right.
book. There, it's just very unceremonious. Like, oh, here you go. We're about to fight when we're about to face off against Ozymandias. He's doing this plan to destroy the world, or whatever. Blah blah blah. And they show up, and then like the next panel is just both of them just one of them's holding their face, and the other one's like bent over there like out of breath over the table. And he's like, like the fights are really quick in the comic.
Right. And that's how it
Yeah.
would be, should be, is in real life. So it's like
Yeah.
I do think they drew a really good balance between that, but that's also why I think I have to give it a billion out of 10 for snobs. Because movie
Yeah.
snobs are going to see that and say, oh, the writing was so subtle, and they did this and they subverted expectations. It's like, well, yeah, but they did lose a little bit for that. They lost
Yeah.
a little bit of excitement. They lost a little bit of the wow factor.
Mhm.
They're going to lose casual audiences. I guarantee that movie did good, but not
Yeah.
great in the box office. If you compare that to any like box office action hit, fucking Die Hard, Terminator, Marvel movies, whatever, it probably did worse. And bite me if I'm wrong. Somebody look it up. Probably I'm wrong, but I just get the feeling that it's not going to be as appealing to most people. But I like it. I mean, anyway, there was things that it did really well that were still
You
action.
talking about the Watchmen, the movie, not if
The movie,
the
movie.
comic book was
Yeah,
made more. Okay,
just the movie.
I think it did good. I'm pretty sure it did really good. I'm pretty sure it's like really well regarded. Yeah, 7.6 is actually good on IMDb. 65 on Rotten Tomatoes is not the best, but it's above
And that's
average.
that's what I mean. I think it didn't.
Yeah.
It
It's
did
not
all those
it's not
things
not
that.
rotten, right? It's Rotten Tomatoes is like under 50s rotten.
Right. Well, that's why I
So
said it'd be good, but not great. Um,
yeah.
because I think that's the
I'm
problem with
surprised
movies.
audience score is 71%. I remember hearing for years people were complaining about how the ending was different. Uh
Oh, really?
yeah. And I was like I thought it was better. But whatever.
Right.
Uh,
Because I liked it a lot, man. They did almost everything right. It was like, God damn, this movie's really fucking good. But then I thought about it more so with like modern cinema and things like that. I said, man, they did a lot of things that are going to be kind of bad or kind of
Man,
hard
maybe
to
Rotten Tomatoes
follow.
about to have a fight. Pineapple Express got a 68. Watchmen got a 65.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Because, well, it depends how you rate things. On pure entertainment value, like, would I go watch that again today? I'd watch Pineapple Express again today. I've seen it
It's
twice.
comedy. I would say something that'll make you laugh, and watch it. I would
That's
say that
also
Watchmen.
not fair. You're
Watchmen,
right. Comedies do get a kind
Watchmen.
of a pass.
Yeah, Watchmen is really good. It really well made for like a rewatch. Like you catch a lot of the stuff earlier. Um,
That
like
is
with
true
lines.
because I've watched it twice. This is
Especially
my
on the
second
Ultimate
watching.
Edition when there is more lines and people giving hints and stuff to the revelations towards the end.
Right.
Um,
No, I didn't
but
notice this the first time I watched it, but in the second watch, because I watched it once in high school, like maybe 2007, 8-ish. I don't know.
okay, yeah,
This is my second watch, so it's been fucking almost, what, 20 years? I don't know. It was not 20 years, but it's been a
10
while.
years.
Uh,
A little over 10 years.
so it's like, after waiting all that time, it's like, oh, shit. That's the guy. Like, when I would see certain things, like I'd see fucking, what's his name, at the funeral.
R-
And I
Rorschach.
was like, oh, shit, that's him. But he can't go there. He's a wanted criminal.
Yeah.
And I was like, no
Well,
way.
I mean,
He
they
got
also
to go
don't know
to the
who he
funeral.
is. So
Huh?
they don't know his real face.
Right. And it's like even his friends never knew it. Thought that was really
Yeah.
cool. Also, speaking of, segue right into his character. In the first 20 minutes, I fucking couldn't stand his character. He was just
love
cheap ass
Rorschach.
Batman.
Nah.
I was like, you're
He's
just
more intense Batman.
No, I was like, you're just
I love
cheap
him.
ass. I want to live up to Batman,
I love
angry.
him.
Like,
I mean,
I
3
don't-
of those characters are based on Batman.
a lot of
I
them
was
felt
also-
like that.
You could tell like Zack Snyder loves Batman. Also, I mean, like, yeah.
True. I was
he's-
thinking that when it was done, I was like, "This is Zack Snyder." I was like, "That fucker, he just must love
He-
Batman."
Well, the
Like,
movie's a comic, so he didn't make the comic, but Alan Moore made the comic. But Alan Moore also worked. He did the Dark Knight Returns. Wait, did he do that? He did it at Returns. Wait, hold on. Fuck. That's not correct. Hold on. Dark Knight Returns. Why do I always get the movies when I'm trying to? This is what I'm looking for. Frank Miller. Oops, my bad. Moving on.
But this was before or after The Dark Knight?
After.
After. Okay. So that's kind of, I guess, because when I saw it after watching, I've
Okay,
watched The Dark
Elmore
Knight.
did the killing joke. I knew he did something Batman related. Damn it.
Got you.
No, but there's like three of them based on like Batman. So like Ozymandias has like little elements of Batman. Fucking
Yeah, World's Smartest Man.
Rorschach is very heavily fucking inspired by Batman.
Right. The owl has the
and then
cape, and he flies out of
yeah,
the
the
shit. And has all
owl
the
looks
money
like
and,
Batman, has
technology.
the Batman gadgets and stuff.
Right.
So it's like different eras of Batman put into like the same team with
No,
a
I felt
weird
that.
dark Superman. Yeah. So
Right. I felt that.
I mean, well, they
I
have
was.
like elements of other things. So like yeah.
The question is though, are they super?
No.
I still
Well,
no,
they're
I
not
don't
in
think I
the-
have an answer for that because
I don't think they're super in the comics, but in the movie, I think they're implied to be actually like supers.
because
what's
in
his
the
face said-
beginning, like fucking first fight, comedian literally punches through a fucking wall, and I'm like, oh shit, is he super? And then I'm like, the next scene, the very next scene, or a few scenes after, it's Old Owl talking about, yeah, when we started this, there was a bunch of bad guys trying to rob in costumes, so we thought, hell, we'd follow them. I'm like,
Yeah.
so they're cops. They're not super. And then I was like, oh, so
Yeah.
none of them were super. That must have been just sort of an exaggeration. And then later on, it goes and goes. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Somebody just got fucking smacked. Somebody got hurt. And I said, there's
Yeah,
no
it's just
way.
for like dramatic effect because it looks cool. But yeah, they're normal people. But maybe the movie is like, this is make them a little super. Like they trained really hard, so now they're more durable and stronger and
Now, I
faster.
like that
whatever.
they did admit that, though. They did say, they're like, oh, so-and-so died? And they're like, yeah, we've seen his body, though. He's pretty well shaped or whatever. So they did mention how buff and fucking awesome
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
Which I liked. Because even Owl, like in his whole fucking titty scene when he's butt-ass naked, he did have a little bit of a gut going, but his arms
Shit,
looked
no,
pretty
he did in
stout.
the comic. He was a fat fuck when he was in the comic. Well, not
really?
a
Young
fat
Al?
fuck. But he's not a fat fuck, but you can tell he let himself go.
Okay, see, it looked like he let himself go a little bit in the belly, but he
He's
still
got, like,
had the arms
he's
in the
got-
movie and stuff, and I liked it.
Yeah, he's still like, but he's kind of like a more realistic version of Izumi's husband from Full Metal. Like
Okay,
he's
yes.
got the gut, but he's got pecs and he's got he's
right, because he
got
looked
some
strong.
arms.
Now, he wasn't big, but he looked strong. I said, damn, okay, I could
Yeah.
see him being able to kick your ass. So it was really interesting to see. I was like, oh, I like that. So he is super buff and like martial arts trained. I was like, that's really fucking cool. But then in the end, they
Oh,
lost
there's
me
more
again.
scenes with the gangs. I just thought about that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the ultimate difference between the ultimate cut and the director's cut, I don't think the director's cut has as much of the gangs.
No, I had a bunch of
Yeah.
that. They broke all their arms and legs and fucking snapped them in half. And
You
Almost
had
got
like
shot.
one or two scenes, right? You didn't have like they weren't in the movie that much.
oh, the gangs. They showed up. They had the huge
The
big
Tottenham
fight
gang.
scene in the alley. They had the second scene in the bar when he fucking almost killed that dude, and Rorschach
Yeah.
had to stop him. They had the scene where they killed the old owl, which is based on you had to see both if you're going to see the bar scene.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think there was.
It
any
might just be
more.
the fucking. It might just be the comic book then that's in it that makes it an extra hour long. I don't think the comic book scenes were that much longer, but I guess maybe they just add a whole hour.
Weird. And so back to like two fucking points ago.
Yeah.
Definitely, it felt like in the beginning that Rorschach was just, where is she? The character. And I was like, okay, we get it, dude. You're over the top. You're like a darker
I
Batman.
love. He's perfect.
It felt like he was just pretending, although, in the beginning. I was like, you're just darker Batman trying to pretend. I just didn't like it in the beginning. Like the first maybe 20 minutes to an hour, I was like, I'm not on board. But Jesus fuck, by the end of the movie, he grows into his own character, and I fucking love it. Wait, back to 2 points ago, before we did 3 points ago. Are they super? In the end, so there's been like flip-flopping on how super they are, if they're not, or if they're just badass martial artists, which could be vague.
Yeah.
But then in the end, Ozymandias literally moves at like superhuman speed and catches a bullet and like does some other shit.
Yeah.
And he's also been said to be the smartest man alive, meaning he was watching, what, 15, 20, 30 screens at once?
Yeah.
As if he could interpret all of that at once?
Yeah,
And
that's
I
what I
was
was
like,
saying. That's what I was like. It's kind of vague. So the movie kind of makes it seem that way. The comic is definitely they're normal people. I'm pretty sure, but the
right.
movie kind of hints at them being kind of super because they're
I
definitely not, Superman levels of.
Of course, John was the only
Yeah,
actual super, but they were like Captain America esque, not a
yeah,
little
they're
bit
like
less
super
than Captain
soldier.
America, but
They're,
close.
I would say they're about super soldier. Well, early super soldier, not fucking. Let me fall out of this giant fucking plane and fall.
Right. It
I'm
depends
just
on which
gonna.
Captain America you're looking at, because some of them it's
Yeah,
like he's super ish. Then it's like no, he's super, but like he's Superman Junior. You can't tell.
yeah, yeah,
No, that makes sense. Because I think, for example, I think I like them better being super. Um,
yeah.
because to me it fits the plot better. Not super super, but super-ish. And I think the movie did really well with the super-ish concept because they didn't explain it well, which is why I'm still on the fence about it. I'm like, what the fuck? So I don't think their execution on that play was very good because it leaves it open to question. But how many minutes do you have to explain why they're super and make it believable in the story? So fuck it, leave
Pretty
it
sure when
vague.
I first watched the movie, I was what 13? No, I was older. Come out to the 9. I was like
Hmm.
15 or 16. Yeah. So yeah, when I first saw the movie, I thought they were super. I was like, yeah, all right. I just took it as at face value. Okay, they're not gonna explain it. They're
See, I thought they
super.
were regular in the beginning when I first watched it, and it's like now I have a different question. I'm like, fuck, I
Well,
don't
I mean,
know.
that's the very first scene it opens up is what's his the comedians fight, and they're
By
doing
the
like
way, who did he
superhuman
fight?
level shit, huh?
Who did he fight? By the way.
It was Ozymandias.
You sure? Because he didn't have a mask
Yeah.
on. He wasn't recognizable.
He was wearing like a face mask thing. It was just covering his he was also in shadow. It wasn't
Like
completely in
pantyhose
shadow
or
like
something? Because
he had his
I saw his chin. I was like, who is that?
he had like a really what's it called? Tight like mask whatever. But it was also just not it was wearing a hat. It was just not his eyes and his nose wasn't really covered.
Hmm.
Um I mean maybe his mouth also wasn't covered, but I don't remember. But it was Ozymandias.
Oh, okay.
Uh
So I figured
yeah.
it had to be him, considering he beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, but what we saw, that scene looked kind of super, like not
It did.
crazy levels of super,
He
but
smashed
hey,
his
you
head
can't
through a marble table or a marble
exactly. That's what I'm
countertop.
saying. So like, I just took that as the story being all right. So these guys have like fucking super soldier levels
Right.
of strength,
Then
or
the next
almost super
scene,
soldier
we were
levels of
just
strength.
regular cops who dressed up. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, yeah,
Speaking of how the story presents itself,
yeah,
these fuckers, man, the first scene, and this is why I also say is that when I mentioned that this story is made for, fucking stupid, arrogant movie guys, that first scene, the montage, is too hard for me to follow. I've
yeah. It's
watched the
definitely
movie
that's
twice.
definitely better. That's for comic book fans because we do actually get into the backstory of some of the old heroes, and then even the new heroes in the Watchmen that we didn't get to see in the that we saw in the montage, but we just saw how they ended up after.
Hmm.
We do get to see those in flashbacks in the comics, but
Oh,
the
so it was for just the person being in the film period.
yeah, it was the comic books, and it was for the rewatch. Because
Okay, so I
if you
rescind
go
it
back
then.
and look at everybody's dialogue, they mention Mothman, they mention I forgot the girl that died in the apartment.
Oh, the lesbian?
Yeah. Um
Somebody.
I forgot her. Yeah,
She
it
was
but they
cool.
mentioned them. They talk about them like it serves a purpose because then it like their dialogue feels natural because it's like, oh yeah, this like they experience these things. They wouldn't just, hey, remember this person? Blah, 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 blah. That's a weird, unnatural way to talk. So they're just like, remember, or they're like, Mothman's in an asylum. Like he just threw it out in a sentence
That scene
during while he
mattered a
was
lot.
talking.
That scene when he says that, it
Yeah,
actually brought
and
everything full circle for me.
so in in another movie, they would stop the whole scene right there. Do you remember Mothman? And then they'd cut away to something else, and then fucking come back, and they'd be like, then we'll make this line. So it just organically, if when you look back, oh, that guy's Mothman. Clearly, he looks like a Mothman. He has the fucking wings. Yeah. Uh,
Right. Well,
so
and that's actually so. It took me 3 watches to get there.
yeah,
Not three, but it took me 2 watches, and then that Rorschach reminisce.
yeah.
I was like, oh,
And it's a
that's
sick
because I didn't
montage and stuff.
understand in the flashback what was happening. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, why are they putting that guy in a truck? Why is that guy just laying there dead? I get that they're trying to show me something. Does it matter the time period? Is this like a whole thing with the president? Is this like
I
I'm just
mean,
reading so fucking much into it?
with Mothman specifically, is he's being carried away by orderlies. He's kicking and screaming. He starts biting one of the orderlies, and they're taking him to an
Insane
ambulance truck
asylum,
because they're gonna take him to a
right?
loony bin.
Yeah,
So like,
but they didn't
yeah,
really tell me why. I was like, he doesn't just go crazy
he went
randomly.
crazy. Yeah, he just went crazy.
You think
Uh,
so?
yeah, unless you read the comic, but I mean, like,
And
uh,
that's why I meant what
it's
you said. I was like,
unimportant.
oh,
It's unimportant to the plot of the movie. It's just something that happened in the backstory that they can. It just makes the world feel alive later whenever they mention it. That
got you.
hey,
No, I
this things
appreciate that.
happen to these guys. Yeah,
Because for me, what movies do a lot, which pisses me off, is they'll have scenes like that, and the dumb motherfuckers like me will watch, and it's just fucking scene, 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 scene. I mentally check out. If you show me two scenes within like 45 seconds to a minute of each other, nope.
yeah,
I'm gonna say, oh, they're doing a montage. This is supposed to just bring
yeah.
me up
It's
to
like a
date.
montage of like the history of the superheroes in this universe. So it's like,
But
oh, here's the Minutemen. They're the first superheroes. Here's their escapades. Oh, look, there's new superheroes. There's like news clips and stuff like that that they're showing as well in between each of these scenes in the montage. And then a lot of what's in the song of the montage is also um pertinent to the what's
well,
happening
that matters
on the
too,
screen
and
at
I
the
actually
time.
thought about that while I was watching
Yeah.
it. I was like, and you know what? I've never heard this song before, but I'll bet it's fucking important.
I love that song, by the
And shit
way.
like that kills me. I'm like, God damn it, dude. To anyone who's like uninitiated, you
Yeah.
just threw at me a super metaphorical song, 15 fucking shots in 10 seconds apiece, so I can't scan the whole shot that quick, so I don't know what you're trying to tell me. And it's like it's just lost on me, so I say fuck it, and then I turn all of that information off. So then the rest of the
Yeah.
movie, when they bring it back up, and then I'm like, I don't get it. You're like, what do you mean? He was this guy. I'm like, who? You don't remember from the beginning? I'm like, no, I don't remember any of that. Um, so it's like I think they
And the
need to be a
names are
little bit
very like
slower for the
easy. You could
mundane,
like
dumb
whenever they mentioned
motherfuckers.
what was it? I remember the cloth head guy. I forgot his name, but yeah,
Oh, he was
their
cool,
names
dude.
are
In the one
yeah,
scene, he had
yeah.
like
When he
he was
fucking
had like a hang noose on his head, right?
yeah,
He
yeah,
looked cool as as a hero. I was like, yo, he reminded me of Ectoplasm from My Hero.
yeah.
And I love Ectoplasm because I just love that edgy fucking look that like I'm embracing death and I'll fucking kill you, but I'm a good guy. I like that shit. Um, but yeah, no, I think overall that shit was like, I don't know. I like it now that if you put it in perspective for me. If it was just a way to be like, hey, you read the comics, like here's all this shit, like whoa,
Yeah.
that's cool. But if you're not in that, you don't miss
Hooded
anything.
Justice. Hooded Justice was his name.
Okay. But I can appreciate that. I actually appreciate that scene a lot more because it was a
Yeah,
way to give fan service and kind of get people up to speed a little bit, but it wasn't necessary. I hate when they shove like a bunch of shit in your face that's like super necessary later on. Like for example, this a movie starts. Oh, I'm watching the
yeah,
movie, and a guy walks into somebody's office, and it shows his nameplate really quickly, maybe like 1-2 seconds as he walks into the room. They have a whole conversation. They leave. That dude shows up like an hour later or some shit, or ends up dead, and they're like, "Yeah, that's really important because of this." And I'm like, "Who?" And it's like, "The guy. Remember the guy we showed you the nameplate for like 10 seconds or one at best? I'm being dramatic, but sometimes they don't show you shit long enough. I can't process that information sometimes. I'm like, is this or not important? Is it is important? I don't know. So it's like, I don't want to have to feel like I'm writing a fucking test, you know? I don't want to feel like I'm
yeah,
watching a movie and it's a fucking, there's going to be a test on this information later. I just want to watch it and enjoy it. But that leads to a problem though. When people like me watch a movie, we need certain things. When people like
yeah,
you watch a movie, you hate those fucking things because you caught it on your own. So you feel like
yeah.
you're being spoon fed. So it's like, how the fuck do you draw that line? And it's like, well, you don't. You just piss
Some movies
somebody
are
off.
yeah. It's just yeah. So some movies are for the uninitiated. Some are for like the people who don't want to know or just want shit spoon fed to them. So like yeah, it's you can't make a movie that appeases. Well, that's a lie. No, there's a few who
Right.
like yeah. They have the hints early on, but then they catch up the people who are more slow to catch those things on.
Right.
Like when
Or at least as long as the drama plays out,
I would
I'm
say
fine.
a really good example is like it's not really that dramatic or crazy. Most people will get it. Pirates of the Caribbean, whenever like the very one of the first scenes, whenever what's her face is a little kid and she gets the gold medallion from Will.
Uh,
uh, she closes her eyes, and then it cuts away to, oh, this is Elizabeth, older, clearly, because we just cut away to her.
right.
But some people might not catch that. Maybe this is just somewhere else later down the line, or somewhere else.
Right. That could
It's
be
just
her
cutting away.
mother, her sister. Like,
Yeah, I was saying it could be just a cutaway to a different scene. But then she opens the drawer, and look, there's the medallion for you slower people.
right.
Ah.
No, for real though, shit like that is very important.
So like I take it back what I said that yeah, you can make a movie that appeals to both.
Right. I think
Uh
if the drama plays out well,
yeah.
I'm okay with it because as a dumb motherfucker myself, I just need the drama to play out well. Like,
Yeah.
I need to see the tension rising and see things happening, even if I don't necessarily know why, because I didn't catch the background scene that showed this guy leaving the building. I didn't
Yeah.
see that fucker leave the building. So when he shows up later and he's stolen some shit from that building, I didn't know he stole that from that building. As
Yeah.
long as you give me good drama though and good dialogue, and don't expose the whole thing like, oh yeah, I was in that building and you saw me walking out earlier, then I stole it.
I
Like,
think
don't do that.
exposit is the uh not conjugate, what's the word? I don't know. Yeah, exposit is the word you were looking for, not expose, but maybe
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe
It's
I
like
don't
that's
know.
the word. Yeah, I was exposition in action. Um,
Yeah, exposit.
yeah, exposition. See, this is why George is here. See, us stupid guys, we need a smart guy to be around to keep us in line. But yeah, no, that shit.
Uh
Like, as long as you don't be dumb and say, yeah, this is what happened, because you're gonna shit on the guys who felt smart for figuring it out. But build the tension still naturally and kind of half-ass bring everyone up to speed if they need to be, at least, you know.
yeah.
Like if someone says, "Oh, you stole that," and they say something like, "What? You thought I would never do that, or you thought I wouldn't try it?" Don't just say, "I left the building at 2 a.m. while you were there in the last scene." Like, no, don't be that on the nose. But make some smart comment that lets them know or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, as long as the drama and the tension are there, I don't need the exposition because I like rewatches for that reason. Or to be
Yeah.
fair, I like watching smarter guys than me who do video reviews on YouTube and they say, "Oh, it's beautiful. You can see from the first scene they set this up with this." And I'm like, "Whoa, that's so cool. They set that thing up with that?" And then the guy's like, "Yeah." And they go on and set this up with this. I'm like, "Whoa, he set that up with that." I fucking love it. I feel like I'm looking into the fucking like the golden the what's it called? The fucking the gypsy shit, the crystal ball.
It's a ball.
I love it, dude. I love watching those little crystal ball videos because I'm just too stupid to pick up on a lot of these metaphors and things like that.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like, yeah, don't explain it so it ruins, everyone else's experience in a way, but explain
Yeah.
it enough that I can enjoy it, like Naruto. All of Naruto's metaphors and bullshit were lost to me. Literally, it wasn't until many of our conversations you're like, no, this is a metaphor for this. I'm like, nuh-uh. Like, and here, he did this, right? And then he passed it to the next generation. Well, yeah, because he died. Okay, and here, and he mentions out loud, the next generation is always stronger. Yeah, but he was just saying, and here, when he blatantly does it. Okay, I get it. But next generation is better than the last. But like dead ass. I don't notice that shit.
Oh,
But the story is just as good without it. But it's even better
yeah.
if you know it, and that's what makes those
Yeah.
things good.
It gives you a watchability. That's um having all those little hints is good for the person who likes to pick up on things on their own, and then it gets explained sort of later, but it doesn't just ruin the. It is enough time between the hints and um the reveal that like oh it gives you enough satisfaction, and then
Right.
for the people who don't ever get the hints, maybe on the rewatch they'll see it, or the second rewatch, or the third rewatch, and be like, whoa, I didn't. This gives it away. I didn't even notice.
Right. And
But
that's
it
sick.
only feels like it gives it away because you already know the answer or the reveal.
Yes,
Um, yeah.
and that's really good. That's good movie
Like
making. That's good
early
storytelling.
on, whenever Rorschach's going through um the comedian's apartment when he's trying to figure out what happened, the
Mm.
right before the scene ends, the the way they have the shot, the final shot is there's a not the final shot. I take that back. It was somewhere in the middle before the cops show up.
Oh,
Um, there's a picture frame that
Jupiter.
has yeah, Jupiter, the girl on there, and What's that mean?
Right?
Now,
No,
maybe
on
it's
the
just the way the
second
shot
watch,
was.
I actually noticed it. I was like, wait,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah.
girl. Oh my god, shit! Why? That's why he has the picture there.
That's the
That picture don't mean
daughter.
shit to the uninitiated. Like,
Yeah,
no, it's true. And it's also funny because you can read that differently. Because if you watch the later scenes, like in the middle of the movie, you're like,
yeah,
oh, that's why he has that picture. Because he's just a fucking monster. And then you find out really what happened. It's like, oh, wait a minute.
yeah. Because it could just seem that oh, he's a fucking creep, right? This girl's
Right.
she's a young hot thing. He probably has a thing on her for her. He had a thing for her mother. And then later when he's like, his friend, my can a guy just talk to uh his friend's daughter?
See, now
And like,
that one
he
was
knows
on the
that's his daughter.
nose. I will
Yeah,
say that one was more on the nose. But I
yeah,
appreciate the way he said it, though. Because the character himself said it so fluidly.
yeah,
I like that. Now, that shit was
yeah,
good.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's fucked up, too, because she didn't know any better. Because, I mean, he is a piece of shit. Like,
yeah.
but like, fuck, man, like that shit was too good. Also, speaking of, to segue into that shit, he is the best character in the whole movie.
Comedian?
Yes,
Oh,
I think
neat.
he's designed to be the best character in the whole movie. But
Yeah,
what do you think?
he is.
Is that because you think he's made that way, or because your favorite, personal or
He's
not?
made that way. I go back and forth between him and Rorschach, who's my favorite. I love Rorschach.
Gotcha.
So,
Rorschach is fucking
uh,
good, dude. I fucking,
I love Rorschach. Like
god
he's.
damn it, I
I think
hate
I
how
think
fucking
well, the first time I
cheesy.
watched the movie, I like comedian the most because he was the best. But as I've gotten older, I think I've liked Rorschach more. But
I see.
they're definitely still up there as the top two for me.
Have to be,
Um,
dude. If you don't like,
Never
because
liked Night Owl.
those
Don't
two
care for
are,
Night Owl.
huh?
I was, don't like Night. I'm just playing. Night Owl's
He
fine.
was cool.
When he
Actually,
finds out his mentor when he found out his mentor fucking died, he fucking broke and then fucking broke that guy's teeth.
oh yeah,
Oh my
when it
god.
showed the teeth like spit into the mouth, I said, "Holy
Yeah,
fuck, he's gonna hurt
that
him."
was a good scene. That was a good scene. This showed him not like unrestrained. It's like Spider-Man when he's unrestrained or fucking Superman like dark like elements of dark Superman in there. So
Right.
it's it was very good. Very tasteful. And
No, it was
it was just
fucking
one scene.
awesome.
It was unnecessary. What's his face's death is completely unnecessary, not needed for the plot, but it's just a little nice character moment for that
Right.
guy.
It's
Uh,
part of that long form storytelling that movies can't get away
yeah,
with.
yeah. Except for this one because it was 3.5 hours long.
I love it though. I think more movies need to be allowed to have fucking
I've
4 hours.
I've been saying this for years. Movies should be allowed to be 5 hours if they want it to be 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I watched what was it the Justice League? Snyder cut.
I still have to
Um,
watch that. I heard it was really good.
Oof, it's 4.5 hours. To be fair, the first 2 hours are a little boring.
Someone
A
told me you
little
could
boring.
split it in half. That there's a watching thing if you want.
I definitely did. I watched the first 2 hours. Said it's not that great. I don't know what everybody's going on about. And then the next fucking 2.5 hours were amazing.
Right.
So, but
But no,
again,
it
it could
was
just be
good.
yeah.
I think
It's mostly just the scenery. It just looks bland and like dark and just. But
right.
at this Watchmen shows you can make a dark movie like light wise, like the darkness and everything that's everywhere, and still be entertaining and look good. I don't know I have to go back and just like compare because it just looked bland. I don't know if it's the lighting or the shadows in that movie just looked bad compared to the style of Watchmen. And this is the same director. I don't understand how he did one really good 20 years ago and then he made no, not 20. Like 15 years ago and then that one he did five, 5, 10 years ago and
Hmm.
it's just so different artistically.
I mean, I have to wonder though if he has he been in,
Cinematography, maybe it was his cinematographer.
well has
Maybe
he
he had
been
a
under
better
any
cinema
pressure?
because I do like the way 300 looks and it's also looks kind of dark and gritty
300 is
even in the
dark
middle of the
as
day.
fuck. 300 is
Yeah,
almost exactly what I want to call the new DC universe, like that film style.
that's also Zack Snyder. Uh,
Makes sense.
so yeah, it's a he. I don't know who his cinematographer was in the pre 2010s, but he needs to hire them back
Right. Well,
because
I
they
have
make his direction just look amazing.
well, the thing is,
Granted,
has he I wonder also, has he been under any hot water or anything?
No.
Because
What do you mean?
because it
Like,
looks like sometimes he may have just not known what or why was successful, or gotten to some
yeah.
hot water and said, "Oh no, this shit works. This shit works. Here, just do what they want. Dude, this shit it works."
No. He
And he
hasn't
could
had
have
any
just,
controversies or anything like that.
huh?
Uh, he he's definitely well. He's argued with some fans during what was it, Batman vs Superman. He was getting agitated with fans, telling him that his he was doing movies wrong, that he fucked Batman up and stuff like that. Um, because he made Batman kill in Batman vs Superman. Granted, Batman vs Superman did look good. It still looked really good. So
Right.
this is just a story. I think he was in charge of like the actual like script when I think when he's in charge of the script, it may look pretty, but the script is wrong. I guess maybe he wasn't in charge of the script in 300 or Watchmen or anything.
That's
So
possible, yeah. Because I was gonna ask, my next question was, how involved is he with DC shit, like
yeah,
comics? Did he grow up reading them? Does he love them? Is that his
he loves
passion?
comics. His brother's a comic book writer. Scott
Huh.
Snyder did a run of Batman a while back.
Only
Um,
Batman though. That's why I'm
um,
wondering, is he involved?
yeah,
Because if you're not involved with other comics, you can think, no, this is how this shit. This is what makes comics good. Well, let me
uh,
tell you, buddy, the Green Lantern fans, the fucking Batman fans are not the same people. You can't give them
yeah.
both the same thing and expect them to both be happy. Superman fans are literally the antithesis of Batman fans. Like, they love
Uh,
different sentiments.
yeah.
That's those characters literally. Now, I guess when I say that, it's disingenuous. You
There's a
kind of
little
like
more
both.
cross pollination now because we're starting to see that Batman has is more of a yin yang. Batman has a little bit of the Boy Scout there somewhere deep down, but he's just too dark and edgy. But he there's hope down in there somewhere deep in the darkness.
Well, he's always
Uh,
had that, I think.
yeah. Well, no, not always.
No,
But yeah, no, it's been a more recent thing.
because I feel
Not
like the fact
recent
that he never killed is
as if
what
when
showed
I say
that.
recent, I mean when in our youth and on.
Got you. Because I
uh,
noticed that
uh,
he never killed anyway. So that's what kind of showed his. Even if he didn't explicitly state it, that's kind of what gave you the inference he's not a bad guy.
he did kill people early in the 40s.
Okay, okay. Um,
Early in his inception, he was a little more
what
violent.
was that? They called the
He did,
Silver Age.
yeah. Well, Golden Age.
Golden Age. I thought it was
The Silver Age was when they told them they can't do no more violence. That's when Batman stopped killing people.
right.
They started having they had the comics book codes for the Silver Age, and then they got rid of the comic book code, and so they started, and then that's the Bronze Age. Whenever the comic book code went away, and they started getting a little edgier, but not too edgy yet, and then like we're delving into the PG-13s in the
Right.
Bronze Age, and then we call it the Modern Age. It's like the 80s and 70s, and that's the Dark Knight Returns for full blown. You know what? Fuck it. Let's give him a tank. Let's have him fucking murder people because he's an old man. All right. We went a little crazy. Let's dial that back down. And that's what
Right.
more like where the 90s to the early 2000s are Batman, where he's like, there's hope
Right.
inside of his heart and stuff like that. So, uh,
Yeah. No, you really got to be intimate with the character, I think, to understand though.
yeah.
Like you
But I
can't.
would say he does have a good mind for how to shoot a movie to feel like a comic book.
Yeah, I can give you that. It's actually, I like
Yeah,
his little interesting bits. I've seen some of his director's cut like style. What do they call it? Like the extra bits.
yeah,
And you know the entire scene where a comedian gets fucked up. It's apparently like there's no scene. You just show him getting fucked up, or like you
yeah,
show him dead or something. And it was like, no, he said, no, listen, that wasn't there. It needed to be there. And I was
yeah,
like, really? He was like, I'm thinking in my head, he was like, because the way he talked about it, he was like, yeah, you need to feel the death at the start of the movie. You got to feel like this is happening, something's going on. And I was like,
yeah.
God damn it, he knows how to hook you. Uh,
But yeah, Batman or fucking back to Watchmen and the
yeah, no, what I was saying about the characters was fucking that it. My two favorites, definitely Rorschach and Comedian though, is the reason I
yeah,
think it's unfair to give them favoritism, but it's still gonna fucking happen, is that they are the movie's undertones. Like,
yeah,
they are the embodiment of what the fuck he was trying to tell us with the script or with the comic. Like, they're just that, and that's why I love them so much, is because when they say certain shit, it just fucking hits, man. Like their lines that's the character, you tell your message through their lines.
And I
Yeah.
always love those characters, almost always. And I think that's almost the classic, though. In any anime, any movie, any fucking whatever, like, the character who gives you the message in their lines, good or bad guy, is the fucking one. It's why I love Zabuza so much.
Yeah.
Because fuck Zabuza. I hated this guy, dude. I had no
He
business.
had a big sword.
Fuck him. I did not care anything about his character until he gave me the lines. He gave me the fucking lines when he was talking to Naruto at the end of that shit, and I was fucking done. I was done. I said, Zabuza no more. It's just too good. And I think that's just because I'm like one of the mundane guys. I don't necessarily pick up on a lot of the other shit until someone says it, and I'm like,
He's just
so,
raw.
when comedian, go ahead.
I would say he's just so fucking raw.
No, comedian was fucking awesome, dude. My favorite line of the whole movie probably is when him and the owl when he's sitting on the fucking outside of the thing and there's a bunch of rioters
Yeah.
and it's like I know they're both there to keep the peace. This is why I fucking also love the comedian so much. I love his character. That fucker is at least one point in his childhood was a good guy. I promise you. I promise you he looked up to the stars and stripes and soldiers and cops and he just wanted to be a good guy and fight. I promise he was that guy when he was younger.
Yeah.
And then he gets older and gets fucked up and everything else, but he doesn't want to be the guy he turned into. He wants to be a good guy. He always has, but he turned into this guy because everyone else pushed him in that direction. So when they're going, the fucking stupid blind motherfucker, the owl, he's like, yeah, we're going to here to protect you. Just be calm. And I know that deep down, comedian wanted that to happen. I know that's why he was working with them. He was like, yeah, I want you to be right. I want to go to a place and talk shit to these people, and I want you to be right. And I'll take the heat for it. If they just say, yeah, comedian's an asshole, we don't like him, and then it turns out to be a peaceful resolution, I promise you he'd be happy with that. So he gets there, and all these people are, yeah, fuck you! And they throw shit and hit him in the face. He's like, oh, hell yeah. Time to be the shithead I always knew you were. Meaning them, which turned him into one, which means I knew I was, and it's like, it's sort of a self-fulfilling whole bullshit. So he starts shooting motherfuckers with pellets and gas and shit.
I have a different interpretation of the comedian. Is that like, yeah, he does think he's doing the right thing all the time, but he just can't help himself but indulge in the violence and stuff that he does because.
Oh, you think he likes it?
Yeah, he's always got a smile on his face. He regrets it later. He always regrets it. Like you can, you know, he regrets the shit because we had that scene where he was crying and telling the dude all the fucked up shit he did.
Right.
And I don't mean to be this way. But he just enjoys it. He enjoys what he does, but he regrets it because because he wants to do the right thing.
I guess we're on the same page or similar-ish because I feel like it just depends on where you start. Because for me, it feels like he starts on, listen, guys, I'm not a shithead. I don't want to be a shithead. Let's just not be shitheads. And then someone just cracks the door open to being a shithead. And he's like, here we go again. I guess I'll beat you to the fucking punch.
Yeah.
And then he's a shithead.
Exactly.
And I like that. That's what I love about him. Because I guarantee that if they would have been like, oh, hey, the Watchmen are here. You know, hey, let's just slow down. And they would have put their fucking arms down and stopped burning shit. He probably would have hopped off and been like, yeah, that's right.
He would have, yeah.
Get back to your fucking place. But he would never have shot anybody.
No.
I don't see him doing anything bad that night.
He's 100% getting like, he's like, well, they're being shitheads. Let me go fuck their shit up.
Right. It's like
but he enjoys
waiting
it.
for fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
He's the same guy that all Americans are. He's the same person who goes out to the bar and drinks and waits for a fight. And it's not they want to fight.
Yeah. They
don't want to fight.
That's a good encapsulation of the comedian. He goes to the bar to drink, but if there's a fight, he's happy he's gonna start fighting.
Yeah.
Waiting for a fight to happen.
It's like, fuck yeah, dude. Oh, you're fucking, let's fucking go, huh? Because he's waiting for it. Because he's been such fucking jaded. He's just fucking jaded, dude. And it's like, yeah, it's gonna fucking happen anyway, so let's fucking go. And he's desperate for it because he's so angry at himself and the world because he wants it to do better. The most jaded people are the happiest ones deep down. They just want the best.
I love that they had that scene where Rorschach and a comedian, like, they didn't argue, but he was like, he gave him like a fucking, like not a compliment, it was not a backhanded compliment, but like kind of an insult at him, and Rorschach wanted to go fight him, and then Owl like pulled him back. So it showed like they had some kind of animosity. But even though he died, Rorschach is still trying to find his killer and avenge him. Because like the Rorschach, it shows how it's indicative of like Rorschach's nature of just like wanting justice, even for a person who insulted him in the past. He probably doesn't like.
Right, but he didn't do anything wrong to deserve death. Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like he may have been fucked up before, and he'll have to pay for that. But right now, he's been living a peaceful life. You know.
Yeah.
No, it is, man. But his best line in the whole fucking movie is that same scene. He hops off after fucking these people up, shoots a dude in the fucking back with a canister. God damn, you know that hurt. If not, broke one of his spinal shits.
Well, it was rubber bullets.
No, that was a canister. The bullets were first in the shotgun. That was a fucking loaded gas canister. No, that shit fucked him up. You know that's metal. It's not tin or some kind of like aluminum.
It's like tin, aluminum, something like that.
That shit still could have fucking broke one of his back vertebrae.
Yeah.
Shoots him in the back. He says, "What are you doing? What happened to the American dream?" And that fucker looked and smiled. He said, "What do you mean? It came true." And it fucking goddamn, dude, it fucking rang with me because it's like, that's what you're asking for. It's what we've always been asking for. It's anarchy. Like when you think about like back in the day when we first got started, we're gonna go over here and there's people here. We want this land though, and we took it, and then we kept moving. And then you think even after that, the Wild West. What was the American dream? To be an outlaw and to fucking live good and do a homestead and, you know, defend your territory by any means necessary and shit like that. We were very strong-willed motherfuckers, man. And then even more recent future, what do we need? Better weapons, better weapons, better weapons. We have to stop the fucking Nazis. We have to stop them. We have to have better weapons. We have to stop the Russians. We have to have better weapons. Well, you got them. You spent all this time, money, and fucking everything in to get better weapons, and now you have them, and guess who also has them? And now you're fucked. And it's like, we wanted all this shit. We've always wanted violence. We've always wanted all this shit, but we don't know that we don't say we want that, but there's repercussions for all your actions. It's like saying, I don't want a kid, but I want to go fuck everything that moves. Well, I never asked for this. No, you asked to be able to fuck anyone you want. Yeah, but I never wanted kids. You stupid fuck. It's a repercussion. And it's like...
repercussion's kind of a repercussion for those who don't want it, but yeah.
Well, yes, if you want kids, sure, it's different.
Yeah.
But what I mean is in this situation, he's talking about all the violence, all the fucked upness. You're asking for that. When you ask to make shitheads free and have guns, what do you expect? Like when you ask to have all this other shit, if you don't want nuclear war, then why are we asking to make nuclear weapons? We want to defend ourselves. But if you think if you can crack the code, someone's not going to figure out as well, because now that they know it's possible, they're going to keep researching until they find it. Like, it's almost like if you left it better off alone, then nobody would look. You know, like if nuclear weapons were left alone, nobody would have looked. But because somebody looked and somebody needed it, they found it, and then after we found it, the world found it.
Even if we didn't look into it, somebody would still eventually look into it.
And that's it. That's what you tell yourself, right?
Yeah.
And that's what leads to it. So I love when he said that line, because it's like, no, this is it. We've been asking for this shit, and I thought it's just too good, man. The movie has such and those are the kind of points that I think this is why it's hard to take it back, because the stupid internet snobs and fucking movie guys will look at that and say 1 billion out of 10. Well, that line didn't make the movie, but it does make one of the best parts of the movie. That's why I still can't give it, like, I want to give it a 10. I'm like, what did it do wrong?
It's an 8, almost 8.5 on me.
I'd give it an 8.5, 9, closer to 9, but I want to give my gut. And this is unfair. I don't rate movies on my gut, usually, but something deep down in me says, no, it's 8.5, dog. And
I usually rate movies on my ass, but...
There's too many. You don't know, but he sits in the toilet. I'm playing. Anyway, yeah.
Watch a movie on the fucking toilet. How long I stay on there?
Not any worse than Jameson.
Oh man. This is a fucking this is a complete tangent. We're going to the One Piece tournament. I texted James. I was like, "We're on the way." He's like, "All right, I'm on the shitter. I'll probably be off by the time you get here." Man, we had to do a little detour, and then we came back. And so it was like 20 minutes later. All right, Jason, we're here. Well, I'm still on the crappers. One of them good ones.
Bro, one of them good ones.
I'll cut this out. But
What
it's
is he
funny.
reading? That's what I want to know. What manga is he reading? That's.
Shit was funny. But
Well, I
yeah,
gotta
no,
take a quick commercial break. We're still recording,
okay.
but I'll change the scene so it can be chopped out.
Okay.
Whew, okay, I'm back. The reason I had to take a little quick commercial break is I had to pee because we were about to get into this shit.
All right.
Because this next point is fucking important. This is a pretty good movie though. There's some juicy points in it. We haven't even gotten too many tangents. But Ozymandias, his stupid bitch ass is literally just Sasuke, but he's trying to blame it on John.
Isn't that he's okay? I misunderstood what you were about to say.
He's
yeah.
just fucking Sasuke.
He's trying to frame John. I thought you meant like he was blaming John for this is the reason why. But
No, he was trying to use John as his own personal Sasuke, but he was the guy. Like,
he was using him as a scapegoat. Yeah.
but what I mean is, if they're scared of him, nobody will have war amongst themselves. If I have the power to destroy the whole world, they'll fear
he's
me
using him
instead
as
of
a
them.
scapegoat for what he's doing. So that way he can make the world just unite in fear of John.
He's just shittier Sasuke.
Yeah. He's shittier Sasuke.
Like,
well, he still wants to be on Earth. He doesn't want to put himself in exile. Hell no, I got this $1 million company.
bro, fuck him, dude. He's just shittier Sasuke, dude. And this is also one thing I thought I'd bring up too when I watched this movie.
You know, no, I think he's a little he's not better than Sasuke, but he does genuinely want to bring about peace, but he's like so nihilistic. He doesn't believe that true peace can be obtained with cooperation and stuff like that. The only way that peace can be attained in his mind is by having everyone unite against a common enemy.
Yes.
So that's
I will say I like him,
but he
more than
genuinely
Sasuke.
wants to bring about world peace. That's what's really good about him.
Right, no, I like him more than Sasuke, because Sasuke, we all know by the end, his character got written into all different directions and was shitty.
Yeah.
But I also think that Sasuke still played out better in the story. Just because of the fact that he's trying to use John's power. Like,
yeah.
that's what makes it feel worse, is that it's not his power. At least Sasuke fucking had his own shit.
I mean, what does it matter? I mean, he now has access to that stuff thanks to John.
Well, no, because those reactors blew up. And he killed all his engineers.
I thought he was, okay.
So, like, what are you going to do now?
He did kill all the engineers.
Like, you're fucking stupid, dude. It's just...
It was kind of short-sighted, because after, like, I don't know, like, another, like, 50 years of...
Oh, there we go. I was going to touch on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, after, like, 50 years, the world will start to decay, fall back into...
He's
like,
also shittier Thanos.
Fair enough.
Same shit.
But
I'm
he
gonna
doesn't
do
win
this.
anyways at the end. We don't get to see the fallout of it. I guess the show does get into the fallout of it. I didn't want to watch the show. It looked kind of meh.
I didn't even know they had a show. I
Um,
would probably never watch it. It sounds
they
stupid.
they have a show on HBO. I think it's supposed to take place after the Watchmen movie, but I didn't bother watching it.
I will
Kay
say
and Katie
though,
watched it and they liked
it
it. So
it could be really good, which brings me to a point I was saving for later because it was still reminiscent. But fuck it, we're here. Not only is he shittier Sasuke and shittier Thanos, but within I'm gonna give you 1 year. Within a year, because of how the construction outside and the ending scene. But realistically, I'm gonna give you a couple weeks because that fucking journal was still in that basket.
yeah, I was literally about to say was but by the end of the movie, fucking Rorschach had already sent his journal with everything he'd found out.
Yep. So it was all gonna be undone anyway. So they're all going back to World War III within a matter of months. I thought that shit was fucking funny. So I will say that the show could have credit is if they play on that well enough. It could be really interesting. The problem is, how do you play on that? Because all the characters were done. Spectre and Owl were kind of retired. Rorschach's fucking dead. By the way, we have to get to that. John left the planet. It was done. There's nothing left. So what characters do you have that are interesting? What drama do you have outside of just the specific fact that the journal's being released? Like, I mean, Adrian's still alive, I guess. You can kind of play off that pretty well.
Adrian!
Adrian! Adrian! But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I guess I'll probably never watch it, but yeah, I guess they tried.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Um,
I have no idea where the show goes or like what. So,
but on to Rorschach, since we're already there. Holy shit, dude! Because his last 10 minutes on screen are fucking important.
yeah.
Because I've heard people talk shit about him, like, oh yeah, I just hate bad people, the character, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, but fuck off. Like, it kind of makes sense. Not only does he have, like, what seems to be pretty strongly a mental disability, but not mental disability, like, he's not, like, handicapped, but he's fucking, like, schizophrenic or some shit. He's got some kind of craziness to him.
Yeah.
But he saw some fucked up shit his whole life. And he knows he hates it, but doesn't know how to verbalize that. And he even gives you his whole fucking scene where he found a little girl just dead. He was trying to be a regular guy to help people, and then he saw that
I
shit.
love how he talks about that scene. He said, back in the day, when I was too soft on criminals, I used to let them live.
Right.
I was like, and then this is the guy. This is the guy who fucking made him. Didn't make him, but this is the guy who made him like fucking not want to leave any criminals left alive now.
Well, you know what I
like
love?
He's willing to be judge, jury, and executioner.
Well, you know what I love about
because of what he did to this little girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, the best part of that whole scene, though, is I've seen a few, I'm a good guy turned bad stories in my time.
Yeah.
The reason that one was the best in my life, I think that's maybe the best I'm a bad guy now scene I've ever seen, is the fact that what that shithead says.
Yeah.
He said, "Fuck it, yeah, I did it. Just take me in, man. Okay, arrest me. I'm cool. Arrest me. So, okay, put the cuffs on. Arrest me." He didn't say this exactly, not verbatim, but he was like, "Yeah, okay, put the cuffs on."
He said, "Yeah, I'm guilty. I did it. Just take me in jail."
Yep, put me in jail, dude. The cuffs are on, man. Put the cuffs on. Okay, here we go. Take me in. Oh, nothing bad has to happen. We're good. And the fucked up part is you see him thinking about it. You watch him. He starts breathing heavy. He's looking left. He's looking right. And he's like fucked up in the head. Because like, why is he so happy about that? What the fuck is wrong with him? Is he really just going to go live fucking a happy life in prison, getting 3 meals and a fucking, 3 hots in a cot? Like, is that really going to happen right now? And he starts to fucking think about that. And he's like, I can't let him leave. If I let him, what if he gets away with it? He even said it. There's no evidence, bro. You can't catch me.
Yeah.
God
Can't prove
damn.
I did it. Woo.
That shit's fucked. And you just watch him start freaking out. He went to the fucking thing. He's like, I look like he was about to start breaking shit. When he starts like pacing left and right.
Yeah.
God damn. It's like he can't handle that information because no one's ever spoken to him like that.
Yeah.
But that's how people think. And that's real. That's our justice system, by the way, in case you fuckers don't know. I knew a guy who ran up and punched a cop mid-December. Because he said, yeah, fuck it, they'll give me 3 months for assaulting an officer, and then I'll come back out when it's hot outside. Crazy. That really happened, like, in my life. It's fucking wild, dude. No one respects that.
But you're saying that he's just kind of disability. He's like hard to deal with. It reminded me the line when Night Owl fucking pops off on him. I don't know if it's in the director's cut.
Yes,
the
he said, I'm sorry, I've been hard to deal with, but you're a good friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He fucking he took that shit. He said, "Yeah, I get it. I'm a piece of shit.
Right.
I'd be hard to fucking deal with." Yeah,
he did, because he called him out. You talk shit to the people who fucking you live off of. And oh boy, was he right. He's done nothing but talk shit. But so did the comedian.
yeah.
And that's why I love it.
Man.
And he apologized, but he didn't even need to be apologized to. That's what made it so you could tell when he put his hand out. Nah, you should never have. He didn't say it, but you should never have apologized. You were right.
Yeah.
God damn. The characters are so fucking good.
Yeah, no, he's so fucking good.
But it is.
He's a little fucked up about, like, sex and stuff in his head with some of his lines. He mentions, like, he doesn't like lesbians or bisexual or
I
gay
did
people.
see that. He said Adrian could be a homosexual. Need to investigate further. Like, he would have killed him or put him in jail. Or I don't know what he wanted to do.
The way he talked about the lesbian girl that died.
Yeah. He was like, got what she deserved for her lifestyle. I was like, really? Bro. And I like that, though, because... And I really like
he's
that.
human. He has a reason for it. He's like, he has this weird hang-up about sexuality because his mom was a prostitute.
Right.
So,
And none of it was religious. That's why I like it.
yeah.
He was shown to never have religious background. There was no religion in the whole movie. He never even talked or looked or even had anything about religion the whole time. But he fucking hated lesbians and gays. And I had to think about that. But also, if you look at, like, homosexuals in general, they're oftentimes the most promiscuous people.
True.
At least my experience.
Maybe he linked that too much in his even probably linked that in his head, and that's what led to that belief.
Right, and I like that, though. I like that. That's what makes his characters feel so much better.
Human. Yeah, he's very
because
human.
There's so much of this idea of I hate gays, that's because I'm religious. He hated fucking crazy sex fiends. He saw how it fucked their life up. So if he saw all these dudes at the gay clubs all fucking all the time in wild orgies and shit, it may have been like, yeah, they're fucking way too promiscuous. They're throwing their life in the trash. They're doing this. They're fucking bad people because they're sex fiends. And they only do that because they're gay. I'm not saying that's not true. It's definitely not real.
That's the way Rorschach views it.
Right. There's evidence to support that in his life. And it's like, holy shit. You think so? And I was like, motherfucker, it makes sense. Look at, for example, she was kissing all over that girl on television because she thought it was provocative and exciting.
Yeah.
None of the other ones did that.
True.
So why would she do that? Why would she be so sex crazed and live in this wild lifestyle, bringing people over to the house? You know what I mean? Why would she do that? But because she's gay. It's like he kind of put the two together. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
I just appreciate that because I always hate this war. It always turns into religious or non or straight or
when
gay.
we were talking, it's kind of backtracking a little bit.
Yeah.
When we were talking about Rorschach and comedian being designed to be the characters, like the best characters in the movie.
Yeah.
They knew when they made the if you look at the cover for the DVDs, Rorschach there's one of the covers has Rorschach dead in the center when he grappling hooked up and he's like lands on the fucking thing.
Oh really?
It's him in the center, and then the rest of them are on like shards of glass on the outskirts, on the outsides of the case, like just on the edges. There you go. So they knew, they knew he was the main guy for.
Well, it's funny because it's also a double Nintendo because not only was he the main guy metaphorically, in the story he was the only thing keeping them together. That shit's firing on all cylinders, dude, and that's what
he's the only one still working.
Huh?
He's the only one still working too,
Yep.
active as he because the rest of them are all retired or just said, you know what, fuck that, I don't want to go to jail for being a vigilante. I'll be better when we have the government on our side. He's like, no, I believe in justice and I want to keep doing this.
He keeps tabs on everybody, but secretly keeping them together.
Yeah.
Even when he said it, he was like,
So you're keeping tabs on me now? Maybe to protect you. Yeah, you're never that nice. Actually, he was. Like,
Yeah.
deep down, he was that nice.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, man. Like, it's just, and that's the kind of thing, if you look at good storytelling, I don't know if it's intentional. I'm going to say good 60% of the time it's not. But every story or every video game that had a good level design or whatever, if you look at anything good in life, that shit fires on like fucking all cylinders. It's like, wow, the story was good because of this, but that also played into this, which also played into that. It's like it was a metaphor for all 6 of those fucking things, and it's like, holy shit. And when you look at Rorschach as a character, he's a good example of that.
Yeah.
He's a good example of like, you know, holy shit, he was the main marketing material because he's exciting and edgy, but then he's also like the guy who keeps them together. But then he's also the voice of the metaphors. But then he's also, it's like, god damn. But he doesn't steal the scene.
I think he's the most I quote of that movie too. So
right, but he never steals the scene in a way. He never feels like, oh, the movie's about him. No, he does not feel like he matters any more to that story than anyone else. But somehow he's so fucking important, you know?
Yeah.
That's good shit, man. There's just nothing to say. But so fuck, man. The movie is that good. Maybe it's that good.
Still good at 8.5.
Well, to be fair, when I say maybe this movie's that good, this comic is that good, which is
I'll say Ozymandias still to this day his fucking costume looks pretty fucking lame.
What? Are you kidding me? I fucking love the big chest with the fucking wings. Oh my god.
It just screams early 90s.
I loved it. I loved it. It made him look so strong and commanding.
Batman and Robin suits look better. It just might be because he's that scrawny. The actor's that scrawny, and so it just looks funny on him. But
I'll give you that. His head looked a little weird sometimes.
Yeah. He just.
But I love the suit because it was like big and golden.
Because
it had the whole Egyptian
still
shit
kind of looks like the 90s style, but it doesn't look bad. It looks good in the movie. The Ozymandias one just looks bad to me. I don't know. It also looks different than it does in the comic, but maybe that's why for me. But I mean, they all look different than they do in the comics. But his probably looks like the biggest departure.
Maybe I loved it.
He has more like Egyptian themes in his in the comic book.
But I loved it though. He had the fucking chest piece with the big muscles and the little wings and stuff. He didn't have actual wings, but he had like this little interpretation of wings or some shit. Like, it looked so strong, so commanding. But he wore it in the scene so naturally. Because at first I was like, that's a fucking hero costume. But he wore it so naturally, it was believable. Like, the suspension of disbelief was there for me. I was like, holy shit, it's a fucking cool-ass, ripped-ass costume. And then when he started doing cool things...
I saw him in the fucking business suit, and he's scrawny as fuck, and then later he's puts on his fucking... Or he has on his superhero costume. I'm like, that's not... You were too scrawny. You don't have those muscles. I don't remember
him being in a business suit at all, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, he's in a business suit a few times. When that guy shows up to quote unquote assassinate him, he's in a business suit.
Yeah, but that scene was so fucking cool that he looked strong. He was imposing.
Yeah, but before the dude went to go assassinate him, he's just talking to those guys, and I'm just like, he's just a scrawny dude in a business suit.
I see. I always looked at his facial features, never his body.
Yeah,
and his face was also still so imposing in that scene because he turns his head around. He said, "Gentlemen, let's talk." And I said, "Oh shit." I've always had a subtle fear.
He's not imposing.
Like,
he's just
scary. He's so cool.
The suit looks weird because he's skinny, but they're trying to make like, look at these muscles. Look how big he is.
Right. So I've never actually looked at his physique.
He does look imposing. He's very, even just when he's in the business suit, he still looks like, yeah, this guy's a fucking like, he's strong.
That's why I love the suit because the suit matched his face and his attitude.
Yeah.
So that's why I always felt it was so good, but I never saw his actual physique. Though.
No knock to the actor's performance because he does it. He kills it. He kills the performance.
Right. Comedian's suit is fucking awesome.
Which one?
From Vietnam.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I didn't notice it had stars on both
you don't
shoulders.
You don't like the 1960s Minutemen one, the yellow one?
Boo.
Yeah, just playing. Yeah, the Vietnam one looks amazing.
It's fucking great, dude. And he wore it well. Like in like the frame by frame, they took a shot of it. I was like, oh, that's a cool thing. But no, he wore it in the fucking bar.
Yeah.
And he wore that shit really well. A star on each shoulder with fucking blue and red. I said, yo, that's fucking cool.
He's a Captain America meets Joker.
Right? No, really. I fucking loved it, dude. Like that shit was really fucking awesome. Also, when he killed that bitch, oh my god, that scene is. Whew. He said, "You could have done anything at any time. Turn the gun to Mercury.
Yeah, I
turn
love
the
that.
pulse to Mercury.
Yo, that line.
Turn the
When he
bottle to
fucking-
fucking glass, or turn the bottle to fluff, or some shit."
Yeah, he's fucking. He's so good. He's like, yeah, he said, "Fuck you, Mr. Manhattan. Why, oh, Dr. Manhattan? Why you fucking gonna judge me? Tell me, oh, she's
Right.
pregnant. You fucking didn't do nothing. So
Right.
shut up. Get off your high horse."
Right? If you gave a fuck, you would have stopped it. You stupid bitch. Like, and he said it with such confidence to a motherfucker who could vaporize him.
You don't give a fuck.
No, I love it, dude. And the thing
Oh,
though
man.
is, I would have not appreciated that scene at all, ever, until the fact that he mentions the bottle.
Yeah.
Because I was not on his side. He was like, "You could turn the gun to fucking flowers, turn the bullets to Mercury. You could have done anything. Turn the bottle to something." And that's when I said, "Holy shit!" Because before that, it sounds like he's defending his own actions.
Yeah.
I'm a piece of shit. Why didn't you stop me, huh?
He's like, oh yeah, because he's making a point. Because Dr. Manhattan, he know at this point he's worked with Dr. Manhattan for so long, and Dr. Manhattan has mentioned before that he not that he can see the future, but that he experiences time non-linearly. Like he knows what's gonna happen in his future, and so this is happening in his future. He knew that he was gonna shoot him.
No, but he knew that the bottle was going to slice
He
his
knew
face.
that she was. Yeah, he knew. Oh yeah, he knew that that girl was gonna break the bottle, slash his face, and then as a result of that, he was gonna shoot her.
Right.
So
and that's
he could
what I
have stopped
love.
him from shooting her by turning the bottle into something else.
Yes.
Like stopping her from hitting him.
Because you know his temp. He's not saying you can fix me.
Yeah.
He's saying that you could have stopped me from being pissed off.
Yeah, you could stop the actions that resulted in my actions.
Right. That's what.
Because I'm not gonna change. This is how I am, and I don't give a fuck.
Right, and he knows that. That's the thing. That's why I appreciate that. Because if he would have turned
Like,
the
you're
fucking,
a guy who doesn't give a fuck. Basically, you're just not. Yeah.
if he would have turned the gun to flowers, he would have still beat the shit out of her or found another way
Yeah.
to kill her.
Yeah.
Like, I love when he mentions you could have stopped her from pissing me off, pretty much. And I was like,
Yeah.
God damn it, that means
Because
a
he
lot
knows the
more to
future.
me.
He knows that he was gonna kill him before the girl even pulled the bottle out.
Right?
Uh.
That shit's fucked, man. That was one of the best shit, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Yo, another scene that was really fucking good, well acted. God damn it, dude. The actors, because they're doing stupid, cheesy superhero stuff, they don't often get times to really shine. Because I know it feels bad, but that's even the same thing. Like Bobby Drake from fucking X-Men, like, still. He doesn't seem that cool because he actually cheesy bullshit from X-Men. I love X-Men, don't get me wrong. But cheesy superhero actors.
Cool when he chills X-Men Wolverine's beer.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Like this, they just do cheesy shit.
He chills his beer with ice powers.
Stop, dude.
That was cool.
Oh, sure, whatever, dude. No, I'm done with that. I'm not even going
That's the
there.
only reason I want ice powers. My beer is
Yes,
warm.
cold, and you put it on your hand with the opener too.
Yeah, exactly. See?
But no, what one of the scenes that got me the best for her character was the fucking when they were in the room and he was like a general's talking to her, the Spectre.
Yeah.
He's like, "You had a job. You did this. You're supposed to keep him under control or some shit." And then fucking she slams his fucking nose on the table. That's as close to a horror as you're ever gonna call me. And I fucking died. I was like, holy shit. I never thought about it like that. And that's again where the dumb fuckers like, we need that. Because holy shit. I was like, that is what they're doing. But I never thought about it like that. And it was just a really fucking awesome scene.
Yeah.
That she acted really well. Just little shit, man. This movie's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's all my notes, though. Check my notes one more time.
I really only really got like.
We never finished Rorschach, dude. Holy fuck!
Oh, yeah.
He literally, they're all like pseudo agreeing with like, okay, I guess
Yeah.
I guess we maybe if we.
I guess this works. I guess peace.
Right, because
peace.
what do we do if we tell anybody, then it's a waste.
Those millions of we just all the people will die and nothing will come from it.
Right,
But
they were
this way, the
pigeonholed.
peace. Yeah.
And that
Now
fucker,
Rorschach, dude, he believes in like fucking
But he said it before. It was like earlier in the movie. He said, "Never compromise,
Yeah.
even in the face of Armageddon." What he was talking about was earlier in the movie, never leave your beliefs behind, even when there's no point in trying, right?
Yeah.
And I really appreciated that. Like,
He
never leave your
embodies
beliefs.
Batman's principle of fighting the good fight, regardless of how tough it is or how hopeless it seems.
Well, even when you're not gonna win, like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
we're
Like,
all
how
gonna
hopeless it
die, right? Like,
seems.
so that
Yeah.
I love that he was like, we're all gonna fucking die. Armageddon's coming. Nuclear bombs are gonna kill all of us. I don't care. I'm still gonna send you to jail for the next 24 hours until we all die because you're being a piece of shit. And he was telling a different story. Because
Yeah.
in the end, it shows the bad side of that story. And that's what I really appreciate. Is people who are, I'm going to call them a zealot. People who act like that, it's like, oh, they have the moral high ground. See, the religious zealots or the people zealots or the non-religious zealots, whatever. You know, usually religious is the easiest one to make a point to. It's the easiest low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I believe this all the time,
He
forever.
refuses to compromise. Yeah.
Right, because it's a good thing. What happens when it's not a good thing? He shows that. Because in the end, he gives you the same line. Never compromise, even in the face of Armageddon. That doesn't mean the same thing. That does not mean the same thing as it used to 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It means something totally different. It means you're going to cause Armageddon, you stupid fuck. That's what was so fucking powerful about that line. Never compromise. Like,
I mean, he doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't. It's like everyone should be accountable for their
Right.
actions. This is
Right or wrong.
idea. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if what he's doing is in the long run good for humanity because it kills people.
right.
So it's not like one is correct. At least how I interpret it is neither is correct, and it sucks. Either someone's gonna get away with this. Either Ozymandias is getting away with murdering millions to save billions. Oh, by the way, that killing millions to save billions is like a line from some scientists, like from fucking World War II.
Oh,
So like
really?
they're already like making that comparison. Yeah, these guys are just as fucked up as these guys. But yeah, killing millions to save billions. I think that was that for fucking the hydrogen bomb? I think it was what they were talking about. So it's I don't know.
Speaking of, I want to
It's-
see that new movie, Oppenheimer. You ever seen that one?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It
I
looks
watched that, yeah.
good.
Yeah, Oppenheimer.
Let's do it. You want to do
But
a
yeah.
piece on that one? When does it come out?
No idea.
I have no promises, but I might.
Is Avatar 2's out? Have you seen it yet?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So what did you think of it?
It's. Do you
I
really?
know a lot of people, it was kind of lukewarm. I said Puss in Boots made more money than it.
That's hilarious. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, Puss in Boots is shorter, so a lot of families have to think about watching a 3.5-hour movie and not taking.
Yeah,
tea
families
breaks.
took people their family to go see the first Avatar.
Interesting. So I had to wonder if that played a factor into it of like
Yeah,
the
maybe.
length.
But yeah, fuck shit, man. Ozzy, it doesn't. The movie doesn't really choose a side, right? It just kind of presents these things to
Yes.
you. Is what I like.
Oh,
Like, you get to decide: is Ozymandias right or is Rorschach right? It's also why they don't show the fallout of Rorschach's book, like being published, because it's not published. The guy's thinking about publishing it. He's gonna go through it and maybe it'll get published. So maybe Ozymandias won, maybe Rorschach won. Who knows? Doesn't matter.
speaking of,
I lean more towards Rorschach though, because I don't think people should get away with
mass
killing
genocide.
people. Yeah, mass genocide to save. I'm more optimistic, like Rorschach, where like humans aren't gonna kill each other in the face of Armageddon. But I do believe in compromise, unlike Rorschach. So,
Well, no, literally, John said the fucking quote that actually it fucked me up a little bit. I had to pause the shit. Is I almost exclusively, tell me if I'm wrong or if you've noticed this, I've been trying to live my life by a certain principle for the last like fucking 5 to 8 years. And he says without condoning or condemning,
yeah,
I understand.
yeah. I love
That's
that
how I
line.
try to live my fucking life. Anything I've ever talked about. Oh, he's a fucking mass murderer. Why would he do that?
Yeah,
I just want to understand. I want to know. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck if I condone you. I'm not saying it's cool to go murder people. I'm not saying it's bad to go murder people. I don't fucking know.
I just want to understand what led you to be in that situation. And when he said that, it fucked me up bad. I was like, God damn it. Because he's the problem. And sometimes it makes me feel like I'm the problem. Because it's like, you have to pick a side. There has to be a right or wrong.
You don't have to pick. No.
If you just say, I want to understand, that means you don't affect the outcome.
There's complexities in people's ideas that it just seems like two opposing sides when there's just so many facets that, like, you can agree with one side slightly over the other, or you can agree with parts of one side and parts of the other side. But ultimately, it's there's no divide. There's no pure line that divides two things. I mean, there might be in certain cases some simple things, but like something as complex as that, as morality and what's better for the human survival, killing millions to save billions, or just hoping that human decency, or like, yeah, the Russians won't launch nukes, the Americans won't launch nukes. And I mean, this was written post. Was it written post? It wasn't written post. Soviet. Hold on. When was the comic book written? Watchmen. It was the 80s, right? Comic. 86. Okay, never mind. It was still it was written in the middle of the Cold War still, towards the end. It didn't end until like the mid 90s. So, yeah, okay, never mind. They didn't have hindsight. I was about to say they had the hindsight of, yeah, nuclear annihilation didn't happen. So Rorschach
lost you.
was correct technically, because I was talking about that the comic book came out in the mid 80s, and the Cold War ended in the mid 90s. So we currently have we already know that Rorschach was correct in that nuclear annihilation did not happen because we decided not to shoot nukes at each other.
We're flirting with it still, are we not? Or is that propaganda?
Kind of, but not really. Russia will never launch nukes.
I don't imagine it will happen, because and this is why that's actually the funny thing about it.
It's more unlikely now than it was back in the 80s. So,
right, because we have so much power now. It will be total annihilation. Like,
it would have been total annihilation in the 60s. We had enough nuclear arsenal in the 60s to blow up the entire world by ourselves, let alone Russia's nukes.
No, what I mean, though, is that we have the response teams and shit like that. Because what Nixon says in the movie, I love. Okay, so what happens if I shoot first? Like, that's fucked up. But he was saying, yeah, we'll lose all the East Coast, but most of the plain states will have vegetables left, and a lot of the fallout will drift to Mexico, so we'll be able to survive. That's a very real thought back then.
Yeah.
That's not a thought anymore. We know for a fact that if we shoot something, they shoot something, we all shoot something, the world's going to fucking nothing. Like,
exactly. So, yeah.
So now we almost have too much power.
Even there's people protesting that too. There's people saying that we should not have nukes at all. Saying they should only have nukes. No, fuck that.
Right, fuck that. I want the biggest, baddest nukes.
I'm a very big optimist, and I've talked to you about like human morality, and I always think of the best in mankind. But I am a firm believer that if that dude's gonna fuck me up, I'm not gonna be like, well, I mean, I don't want to pick up a stick and defend myself. No.
Right.
Pick up a stick and be like, yo, you fuck with me, I'll fuck with you right back. Right? I'm sorry. No.
The evidence is there. I think the evidence is there that one of like the safer places, the places that the least amount of like fucked up shit happening. There's two things. There's two places. So to be fair, one of them does check out is the places where their fucking laws are insanely strict about guns, like literally fucking like 40 years in prison for guns or crazy shit.
Yeah.
Those places are pretty safe because there's no fucking guns, and they're very small countries. Oh, and then the other place that's very safe.
That was the caveat. Small countries.
Yeah, small countries. The other safe place.
Like Chicago is full of guns, and that fucking place has like insane gun laws. It's because the only people who are using guns are criminals. Because fuck.
Yes, and that's why you see how dangerous it is. The other places that are safe are places that have all guns for everybody, open carry.
Yeah, exactly. Maine, I think it's Maine. Maine has the least strict gun laws out of like it's like open carry. You can open carry like a fucking. I think it's Maine. I could be wrong.
Like
I know
gun
West
in the back
Virginia is
type
like
shit?
close. Yeah.
I know
I
Texas
think
has
I
something
think West.
similar.
Yeah. So Texas, uh, yeah, West Virginia, and I think Maine. I think it's Maine. That's like it's like the one that baffles everyone because it's like a liberal country, but they're cool with gun laws. They're cool.
Right.
They're cool with having open carry and stuff like that.
Right. No, they're
But
safe
they
because if I go to knock some place down and I see 3 fuckers in the store with guns, I can't get away with it.
exactly.
They're going to shoot me in the back. If I go look at
Exactly.
the fucking clerk man and say, "Hey, give me your money," I have 3 dudes behind me who are pretty ready to shoot me in the fucking back. I can't
Yeah.
do that. But if you go into a
Exactly.
spot where you know there's no guns, they can't defend themselves. Human nature takes over, and there's no fear of repercussion.
Exactly.
The fear of repercussion is oftentimes what keeps us human. It's
Yeah.
why you don't steal the cookie jar.
Well,
Your parents will beat the
forget-
shit out of you.
Okay, Trey, they'll call the police. They'll get him. It's okay.
Yeah. They'll get me when I'm already... And sometimes they do, to be fair, and that's what's fucked up. Sometimes they do get
Yeah.
them. After
Yeah,
they
but they
stole
get-
and killed
but
somebody.
they've already gotten away with like all the other shit. Like
Yeah, like after it's already happened.
everyone's carrying guns. He's gonna think twice before he decides to rob a store.
Right.
He's like, "Fuck, is this guy carrying a gun? I don't know. Do I want to risk my life for fucking
$20
$20 is in the register
or $200, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
you won't fucking
Nah.
do it.
Exactly.
And it's like, do I want to risk... do I want to risk destroying the entire planet? Not
Yeah.
really. I don't want to be the guy who destroys all of the world.
Yeah.
It's a good deterrent. But if you know, well,
Yeah.
they can't fight back. They have machine guns.
If Russia, yeah, I say if Russia's got if one country has nukes, I'm not gonna say Russia because it's gonna make people mad.
Yeah, that's facts.
If
Yeah, it's not
one
about just
country, if America's the only country with nukes, they're gonna fucking bulldoze and push everyone around however they see fit because no one else has nukes.
We did.
Yeah, so like
We did to Japan.
we did it to Japan. We literally the only time a nuke was ever fired in a war was because that country had a nuke and no other country did.
Yep. And we saw what happened.
We
And
had-
everyone got
we
scared.
yeah, we had the cushion to be like, well, yeah, what are you gonna do about it? You can't fire a nuke at us.
Yep.
So, yeah, you can't retaliate with a nuke if I shoot a nuke at you. Oh, you didn't give up after a nuke? Here's another one.
Facts.
We gave you 2 days.
That's
you didn't
the
fucking
fucked up
surrender.
part. That is
Here's
the
another nuke.
fucked up part. We were not gonna stop.
Exactly.
So to say
So,
human
like,
nature would take over and they would protect, no.
no.
You're not
Russia
gonna stop.
needed
There's nothing
like
left.
people who got even the people who got mad that Russia is stockpiling nukes. Bitch, did you see what the U.S. just did to Japan? Now they're saying they don't like our policies. Fuck,
Right.
we need to get some nukes.
Yes. Literally it. Why the
I'll
fuck do you
defend
think it
Russia
was
there.
like...
I'll defend the Soviet Union getting nukes because America was like, we don't like communism, and they're like, fuck.
Right. They're coming for us next.
So, oh my god.
Yeah, no, this got really political real quick, but it's true. Like,
I mean, not really. My shit's all over the place. I'm over here defending communists, and I'm talking shit about people who are like
no, I'm doing,
anti-guns.
yeah,
which
not that we have a side we pick, but what I mean is that
Yeah.
we normally talk about movies, but this is the reason this is on point
this
for the
movie
movie.
was political, kind of. It was
Right.
talking about it mentioned so many things that happened throughout U.S. history. So
And it's true.
my mind
that's
just
how
kind
we
of
got started,
wandered
was
over
the
there.
idea that we would fire. That Nixon said, "I'll fire first," and they can
Yeah,
how fast
exactly.
can they retaliate?
So-
And it's the truth
Yeah.
though. So for any of you fuckers who watch modern politics or think twice about whatever, I don't care if you're educated or not. You do have to think about the reality of the situation. Take your fucking rose-colored glasses off and think about certain shit. Again, we are not politicians. George follows politics a little bit more than I do, but we don't follow it like that, and it's not like you can trust what we're saying. But I did see some random shit one time. It was a press conference with like the UN, and Putin literally tells the entire UN or whoever the fuck was there, "Hey, are you guys stupid?" I'm paraphrasing. "Are you guys stupid? America has missile defense systems that they're moving closer and closer and closer to everyone's countries. Does anyone else see that?" And like, everyone got quiet. And then it's like, Putin's a fucking monster. He's a stupid, crazy bastard. A crazy bastard who sees you put missiles in his fucking front porch.
You
and
know
says,
what missile defense systems are?
Huh?
It's missiles that counter missiles.
Yeah,
so
no, it's just other
there's,
missiles.
There's a good chance American like our technology is probably advanced enough that our quote I'm doing quotes with my hands.
Yeah.
Missile defense systems with quotes can also double as fucking
Yes.
missile silos.
You know exactly what the fuck they can do.
Exactly. So like,
we're not stupid. So it's like when I hear shit like that, I'm not. This is gonna sound fucked up. I'm not un-American. I do want what's best for us because I
I
live
love
here.
America. I'm patriotic as
Right.
fuck, but I'm not jingoistic.
Right, yeah, I love America, and I'm all about our sobriety, or whatever the fuck you would call it, our sovereign, not sovereignty, we
Right?
don't want to rule over them, but I want us to be good, right? I want America to be rich as fuck,
I love
have all the
Americans
guns,
to
and
be
be good to go.
sober. Trey wants to bring back the fucking. Wait, what was that? The 20th, 19th Amendment? I don't remember. 18th Amendment. What was the one that banned alcohol? You said
No,
American
no.
sobriety.
That's the wrong one. No, I love my booze. I just want to make sure we're on top, right? I love being on top. It's an American value. We got to be on top. We're the best. But I also understand how fucked up we are behind the scenes, and it's like, dog, we can't just put nuclear defense
18th.
systems in your
Trey is
country.
a proponent for the 18th Amendment. There we go.
And
No alcohol. The prohibition of alcohol.
bro, stop. They're gonna believe it. But
He says he's for America's sobriety. This guy's on America. Kick him out.
exactly, and this is why you don't
He
trust
don't
somebody
believe
who
in
can't read.
booze.
But yeah, no, that movie was fucking awesome, man. Like, I think that's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
like
the
that
wrapping
movie.
conclusions is that movie was fucking sick, dude. All their themes, all their characters, the actors did an amazing job. Like, goddamn, it's not entertaining as other movies.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I can give it.
I
an
love the
8.5.
filmmaking. It's been a long time since that I've actually sat down and watched the movie, and like I started getting really like big into like picking up on like how people shoot movies and like the uh hints that they give, the storytelling that's not said, but it's like
Right.
fucking filmed,
Right.
and like there's so many times where the fucking just like the shot is showing you something about the movie.
Dude, have you
And
ever seen The
I
Universe
love that
Everywhere All
scene
at Once?
when they're doing when the Rorschach's coming out of prison, or he's breaking out of prison with what's her face and the fucking
Spectre
Clark
and
Kent guy, yeah, Night Owl and Spectre, and he's like, well, I have to use the boys' room, and I have to use the men's room.
Ooh, and then
he
it gets
walks in,
closer
and the
and closer
door-
as the door goes.
Yeah, the door's closing, like fucking just swinging, and it's getting closer and closer to him. That show's so good. Oh my
It's so
god.
funny you mentioned that because shit like that, I watch it and I go, oh, I get it. It's supposed to go back every time as he gets closer to him, and then it happens, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, but it does not hit me for some reason. That does not even like, it's not on my radar. I'm like, yeah, I get why that's important, but it doesn't hit me
love
for
it.
some reason.
It builds suspense. It's just like, look at, he's just closer. It's supposed to be like a monster creeping in on a victim.
Now
or
that was
something
one.
like
I
that.
will say that was one of the most horror-esque scenes.
Yeah.
And I will give it credit for that, and it was really nice because it did actually. I take it back. It really showed. Yeah, you did see like Rorschach fuck those dudes up in the cell,
Yeah.
but you didn't see him be a bad guy.
It's the
He was-
implication of violence, but
Right.
not showing it. I prefer that over just, "Ah, look at this fucking arm break. Ah!" Like the shock value of the fucking arm break. I don't care about that. I prefer just the fucking implication. Like, oh yeah, hey, look, watch him. It builds the suspense, and then it cuts away, and then he walks out of the room, and then you just see blood come out of the fucking bathroom. I love that shit way more than just somebody breaking somebody's arm on screen.
Right. No, and it was good because it showed him. I think that was the first time he killed in cold blood, wasn't it?
I mean, he was a villain. He fought in the past, so why
No,
not?
he had done nothing wrong. Now, I guess you could say, well, he sent those goons after him, but the goons got their just desserts. He didn't actually swing on him or do
He
anything.
sent the goons, so
You think so? That
he
matters
was,
enough?
he was trying to kill him with the goons. It's like saying, "Oh, the criminal boss didn't do anything. He just sent his goons to go do things."
Charles Manson's a good guy.
Yeah,
Okay. Maybe you're right.
oh.
I noticed it's one of the first scenes I can
I
think
think
of
I
in the
saw
whole movie, though, that he
interview
does
Danny
something.
Trejo saying he met Charles Manson in jail.
Bro, no. That's funny. But yeah, there was. Oh yeah, we never finished the fucking thing. Speaking of Rorschach, we gotta we gotta finish this up eventually. But I'm glad we never finished because we got to fuck up one more thing.
Yeah.
When he was leaving, because we got caught up in like the whole scene and what John said and everything else before he's leaving.
Yeah.
God damn, did he act that scene his fucking heart out, dude?
Where's
He
my
said,
match?
Do it!
Oh yeah, the scene. Oh my god, when he said, "Just do it." He's like, I'm gonna fucking tell people. I don't care. Go ahead and kill me.
Nah,
I love it because he mentions he's like, I'm not going to compromise, and then he walks outside and they're trying to talk him down.
You
And
saw
he's
his
sitting there
face,
talking,
dude.
but
That actor killed it. When his
Jesus
fucking face,
fuck.
you can see he has courage in the beginning because he was like, all right, go ahead and fucking do it, and you can see him about to like cry,
Right.
his courage was fading away from him right there. I said, yo, just do it before he fucking packs out. No.
Right. Because literally he's like, yeah, what's one more body on top of thousands or millions or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like still strong. Then John waited and waited. He fucking just started to break down. I'm like, God damn it, dude. My fucking heart. And he actually killed him.
Yeah.
That was the fucked up part that broke the whole movie open for me. I was like, holy shit. Because I had forgotten that. I didn't know he killed him.
The motherfucker has nigh omni fucking like, not potent. Yeah, omnipotent fucking power. His nigh omnipotent fucking power, and he could just sever the fucking nerve that makes him where he can talk, to cut his vocal cords or do something, so he can't fucking. Make him paraplegic or not paraplegic. Make him where he can't break or like
there was no
make him lose his memories.
He would have done it with his eyes. He would have wrote it with one hand. He wrote it with one foot.
He could like snap the nerve where the memories are or something. But nah.
There was no way, dude.
You're dead.
You couldn't stop him.
You're dead. Yeah.
I don't think there was any stopping him there. I think no matter if you left him.
Hell no. That motherfucker would have fucking. He could have been completely mute,
Vegetable.
deaf, every form of communication, blind, lose his sense of touch or anything. Just be a fucking having no sense, none of the five senses, and still would find a way to communicate it to somebody.
He'd find a way, dude, and that's why you had to. That's why I love his character, because I believe it. I believe that he would find any way that there was no other option. He gave me an ultimatum as like a viewer, and it's very rare that I believe ultimatums. Like I know you'll fall back. Like, even when Thor says some shit, we'll kill the giants, or even any other movie you ever saw, when somebody says something, even when Loki made ultimatums, you knew, nah, there's something in between. There was nothing. Like, that was, fuck, man. That shit was fucking heavy.
Second best DC movie of all time.
Maybe the best. Fuck, dude.
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Jesus. I don't know. I think actually I like that one more than Dark Knight.
I believe it.
Because Dark Knight, I put them on equal terms.
So, yeah. That's all I said. I'm a big Batman fanboy, so it's just, yeah. Right. I'm not gonna. Woo.
No, I'd put them on equal terms as far as like everything, right? Themes, storytelling, all the shit. But there's something about the Watchmen that's so much colorful or involved or like deep, or maybe it was just the number of characters. I don't know. Because Batman is pretty like, there's only 3 or 4 characters at best that matter. And it's like, maybe there was the number of characters, but you could also say it's only, Spectre, John, Comedian, Rorschach. Now, there's a lot. There's like 5 to 6. I don't know if it's the number of characters. The plot takes place over many decades. I don't know. There's just...
kind of. It really only takes place within a week, really.
That's true.
But
it has, like,
there's
implications.
Flashbacks to like the past. The past plays a lot into the present.
Right.
But yeah.
It just feels deep somehow. Somehow it feels deeper than Batman. Whether it's timeline, characters, I don't know. There's something.
I don't know. I was thinking Batman's about like, it's a very different idea. Like, I would say like Watchmen is like about optimism versus pessimism or nihilism.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Dark Knight is like, can a person how can you corrupt a person, and can there be a person who's incorruptible like Batman?
He's like Batman. Nah, Batman's corruptible.
Batman. I mean, he is. He's been corrupted in the comics, but like the Dark Knight, him.
No, I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, in that movie. Yeah,
but the way you said it was super fanboy. I said, let me catch him.
But no, he's been corrupted before. There's the Batman Who Laughs is a really good comic. I like, where he just goes fucking crazy. Bane or Venom. The comic Venom or whatever. He when he injects himself with Bane Venom and fucking goes fucking crazy, basically roids out.
Right.
So yeah, he's corruptible as hell, and a lot of his fucking best comics are about him fucking just towing that fucking line of almost crossing and being full on just fucking villain. So
Ooh,
yeah.
Speaking of injustice. Oh my
but yeah, that's
god.
that's what's his name? the Dark Knight is basically about that, about how you corrupt a person that's as good as like Harvey Dent. So I would like to see that though in live action. A Batman get corrupted. I guess you could argue Batman versus Superman, whatever. That was not that good, but I mean, that's probably a video for another day.
Right. We have a few things for
You've never
another
seen
day.
that one, yeah?
Because
But you
I have a
seen that one.
whole fucking laundry list of DC things that I've never watched. So if we ever do get into that one day, we can.
Aquaman will be one I think you'll like.
I love Aquaman historically. He's one of my favorite superheroes from DC.
I know you.
So-
I don't think you're not a fan of Momoa playing him, but
I don't mind it. I think he can do a
okay.
good job. I just don't like the Aquaman that he looked
I'm
like.
not a fan of Aquaman, so I don't really know how he is. Like how he acts.
He's
so, but
cool. He's like Superman light, but kind of an asshole.
I would say because Momoa plays him as a kind of brooding, but cool, laid back surfer boy, but he's slightly brooding because it's like mom abandoned him.
Right. Well, see, that's why I didn't like the way it looked. Is he looked like he was like badass and mysterious and super buff and hot, and I was like, I don't necessarily like those things from my Aquaman because I liked about Aquaman.
He has the demeanor of a surfer boy and kind of like a stud dude, but he has like this like broody nature that he doesn't know who he is and he doesn't feel like he belongs.
That sucks.
Yeah. So.
Well, I say that sucks. The movie could be great.
I make it kind of seem like it's the point of the movie, but it's very understated. It's mostly just, hey, your brother is about to become king of the fucking Atlanteans. He's kind of a shithead, wants to kill all the humans. We kind of need you to challenge him for the throne. He's Simba. If I want to make a comparison, he's Simba coming to take down his brother, or his brother, but Scar,
some family,
the
I
Lion
got
King.
you.
But yeah, his family, yeah, somebody taking the throne from him because, he a dickhead.
Yeah, Aquaman to me is at his best when he's being a king. That's the Aquaman that like I know and love.
There's no like kingly stuff going on in the movie, but again, he doesn't become king till the end of the movie.
Right. See, that's unfortunate because like that's what makes Aquaman so good. It's also his interaction with other people. That's also the drama that he plays when he interacts with humans, and when he interacts with Superman, especially. Because like that's what makes him so good. Because he's kind of a racist. I mean, all Atlanteans, huh?
Or I think Aquaman 2 comes out this year, or next year. I'm not sure.
Be pretty good.
I know they already finished filming, so probably this year.
Gotcha.
And the and I think from what everyone's been talking about, it seems it's going to be like a buddy cop movie with him and his brother because he ultimately doesn't kill his brother at the end of the first one. So,
see. Unfortunate.
What do you mean unfortunate?
Because that's not like it just sounds like that's not Aquaman.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because Aquaman's cool because he's super prideful. He's a little bit racist.
Some things that I'm like, I don't want to watch that because it's separate from the idea of what I have of it, and then I ended up liking it anyways. So.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
And I'll just
and that's why I say I can't. I
I'm
can't say it's gonna be
like
bad.
a movie from a book. And be like, oh, I like the way they adapted to this. That's fine. They can take this away. It fits better in the movie. Or like Aquaman's not the most popular superhero, so I guess changing him for the fans is fine. The Guardians are nowhere near the same as they are in the comics, and a lot of people love the Guardians.
It's true. I never
there's not
knew
that
them
many
before.
diehard Guardians fans, anyways, so that's fine, I guess. But
I never read them before, so I didn't know any different.
Yeah.
The only one I was disappointed with was Drax. Because I guarantee he's way cooler in the comics.
I like. A lot of people will argue. I think I've had not argument, but like just debate with Jameson or Kane about it. But I liked Drax more in the first Guardians than I did in the second Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can argue that all the goofiness of Quill and Rocket and rubbed off onto him. But
I could say that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think his character is not. We don't need another comedic relief.
Right. I was like, he definitely like Gamora felt more like she loosened up
because of
through
Quill.
her interaction because of Quill.
Right.
Drax doesn't feel that way. Drax just feels like they told him go ahead and just be comedic in this movie.
Right. No, I can see that because some of the comedy was lost in the storytelling or writing because in the first one he wasn't funny. Oh, that must have went over your head. Nothing goes over my head.
I would
Yeah,
catch you.
like the
That's
humor
not
from
funny.
Drax
He would kill
wasn't
you.
him being dumb. It was from like not understanding certain
Yeah,
things.
he
Like, right?
didn't
He
know
didn't
the
understand.
language, but he was very
Yeah,
serious. He would have stabbed Quill in the chest. Like,
yeah.
that's not funny. But because it
It's
was
funny
so
to me.
funny, I
Yeah,
think that the writer he wrote the same guy wrote both of them, or her girl,
yeah.
whatever.
James Gunn wrote both.
I'm weird then why
Well,
he forgot
actually,
what his
I take it back
character.
because like the MCU is done where like there's like 6 guys who do all the scripts for all the movies, and
Mhm.
then the directors can change lines here and there, essentially.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure James Gunn didn't write the scripts for these, but he may have. I think the Guardians movies are the only ones that like actually has a person who it does damn near everything.
Got you. Because I was thinking that maybe they just between the writing hands they forgot what the character was supposed to be, or and these are like 5 years between writing, and it's easy to forget what you thought the first time, and like
Yeah.
it's hard.
Uh.
Because if you ask me a year later, like after I wrote like my second book, it's
Oh,
like,
James Gunn
oh,
did write. There you go. Look at that. He was involved in the writing of the first one.
so it's like
Um.
if you ask me how would this character act? I wouldn't even have remembered how those characters may have acted. You know,
Exactly.
a lot of times when you're writing, you're just in it. It's like I'm in it. It's happening now, and this is what's live.
Yeah.
And then it turns into something else as well. Like sometimes, and this is where manga artists do it very well. Sometimes
There's
things turn into what the fans see, and like, oh, the fans saw it this way. I can turn it
Yeah.
into that
James
now.
Gunn written and directed both movies.
Let's see. So I have to
Yeah.
wonder though if he didn't turn it into something new because of what it evolved into. Because they had to be within 5 years within writing. I
I
would
was thinking
imagine.
that, but the only person that but he's like the only one I feel like I went from liking a lot to liking less. Not that I like him, I don't like him anymore. I just like him less because the things I liked about him are gone. Uh,
Right.
initially, but yeah, I like Quill more in the second one. I like Rocket more in the second one. I like Gamora more in the second one.
Bro, the trailer for the
Uh,
third one, holy shit! I gotta watch.
it was
I know
it
it's
was
all
okay.
clickbait, but fuck it. I didn't want. This is why I
I
don't
don't think the
watch
first trailer.
trailers.
I don't think the first trailer has anything going on in it.
Oh, the trailer I seen for Guardians 3, get fucked, dude. They just spoiled all kinds of shit. Just
Um,
drama, over the top drama. Every other scene.
even
was
if we
like,
don't do an episode on it, I do kind of wish you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier because I love Bucky, so I'm very biased.
Right. No, I can watch
Bucky
it
is the
soon.
reason I like
I have
his
stuff to do,
similarities.
but I can definitely get to it, and then we can kind of cover
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Uh,
Speaking of, I guess you want to wrap this up. Anything
Yeah,
else
yeah.
for Watchmen?
we covered each of the characters. We didn't really go over Spectre Girl that much because she kind of doesn't. She slightly has a character. Her revelation that the comedian isn't her dad, or the revelation that the comedian is her dad, doesn't strike me as
It wasn't that good.
necessary
No, it
to the
wasn't that good.
plot.
I'm sorry. It just seems
I know
like
it's very good for. Oh wait, oh no, it's important to
she should have already
Dr.
known.
No, it's important to Dr. Manhattan. It's not important to her. Well, on a personal level, sure, but for the plot, for her, it doesn't do anything. But for Dr. Manhattan, it makes him believe in miracles again. For some fucking reason.
Well, because it was like, but so I can't. I would buy it under any other circumstance, but the fact is, he showed her own memories, which he has already read.
Well, he didn't show her memories. He used his power. This is actually an invention of the movie, by the way. This isn't in the comics. She just kind of puts it together in the comics. He says something and it triggers her mind, and then she fucking goes, "Oh my god, the comedian's my father." And then it kind of makes more sense in the comics, but like, oh, you just happen to realize that out of nowhere. Okay. But in the movies they gave him the ability to make someone perceive time like he does. So that's what triggers her realizing.
So he's not reading her thoughts?
No.
No, he was though.
No.
Cuz he literally lets go of her head and says the comedian is your father or some shit like that, didn't he?
No. She said, "Oh my god, the comedian's my father." I mean, maybe it happened the way you said, but I'm
Because
pretty sure
remember in the first one, he touches her head. He said, "Your mind goes to dark places."
Yeah.
He could be inferring that based on her reaction, how she jumps away.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's a little bit vague. I can give you both either way, but I think
Yeah.
overall it didn't feel good. Like she wouldn't have
He
already
told
known.
her, like, but okay, I take it back. He should know because he says he can see his own future. So by that logic,
Yes.
he would have seen her tell him that the comedian is her father.
Yes.
So yeah, that's another fucking weird thing with because Dr. Manhattan can see. I know this is the whole thing with the tachyon energy and
Yeah. That was a little written in there, but I let it slide because it was pretty good.
yeah. So what's his name was using tachyon particles to obscure Dr. Manhattan's vision of the future. Also, the motherfucker gave people cancer to make Dr. Manhattan think he was giving people cancer.
I like that.
By being around them.
That shit was really good, dude. Holy shit,
man.
devious as fuck, but I love it.
Yeah, but yeah, it felt very unnecessary. Her realizing the comedian was her father, but it makes sense with the characters. Like, oh yeah, this piece of shit, and like the fucking crazy, like strange human behavior. Yeah, this dude almost raped her, but she did have a thing for him. And she was mad at him that he tried to rape her, but she did have a thing for him.
She wanted it, but on her own terms.
Exactly. And so
But
eventually
God, he
she
beat
went
the
back to him.
shit out of her. Holy cow.
And yeah, after Hood beat up fucking what's his face, she still went to him.
Right, she felt
And
bad.
yeah,
Don't
you
hurt
can't.
him.
I know girls will probably argue and be like, "Why would she do that when he tried to rape her?" Have you seen some people?
Right, it happens almost every day with plenty of women I've known in real life and plenty of stories I've heard. It happens all
Like
the fucking
even
time.
men that get abused will go back to their abuser.
And if you ask John in that moment,
humans are stupid.
yes, and if
so
you ask
yeah.
John in that moment, oh, nothing good can come from that. I'll kill both of you or some shit, right?
Exactly.
But then it's like, wait, something good came from that. How? It's impossible. It should give you
Her.
a broken home. You should be on drugs and strung out because you hate your parents. Now, she didn't know, so she probably would have been on drugs and strung out if she knew her parents, maybe.
I mean, she knew her mom.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like that. So
And
maybe
her parents did fight all the time, so like she technically came from a broken home.
a little
Slightly
bit,
broken.
yeah.
A little chipped.
Right.
So
I wonder, yeah, but who knows, man? Maybe that's
Yeah.
important factor to play into that her home was
yeah.
less broken than it could have been.
Yeah. At least that dude was providing for her, even though he wasn't her father.
Right, and that means a lot, right? That helped her,
Yeah.
figure that out. I mean, she had to know
Yeah.
he wasn't the father. That's what's weird. That's why it's hard for me to believe. Like, she knew that wasn't her dad. Period.
Did
He
she
wasn't
know?
shy about saying it in front of her. So like,
You
she
never know.
had to have known.
The way some people talk is like, "Hey, come get your son." Hey, your daughter. Like my mom always said that to my dad. Look
Only when
what your
you're in
son is
trouble.
fucking doing. So
It's only when you're in trouble.
I mean, yeah, but when you're a kid, you don't realize that.
No, it's just funny though. That is always
You don't have the mental maturity to understand tone,
Right.
very well. So like,
It's
you wouldn't
possible.
make that correlation in your brain that, oh, when I do something bad, my mom says your son to my dad instead of just always.
Right. It's possible, yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else?
Uh,
Because I know sometimes I've thought about it after we finish. I'm like, wait, we did miss
yeah,
that
and
one
I'm like,
part.
damn, we didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about that.
Right, like we missed some
I
shit.
know when we did the She-Hulk episode, I was like, did we talk about what's her face? Wongers. And, oh shit, we did it. She was like the best part.
Yeah, fucking Wongers. So she's fucking funny.
Oh
He said, that's a spoiler.
man.
I said,
Speaking
bro,
of Wong-
spoilers.
Speaking of Wong, oh my god, this new character that came out, Zabu, makes her forecast cost 2 less.
Whoa. We cannot be getting into this right now. We do tangents, but that's too far. That's not even film related.
It's Wongers related.
It's Wongers related.
Zabu makes Wong cost 2. Oh,
And then you
baby.
play Wong on 3, and then you get double as your
No,
double triples.
Zabu costs 3. So you play Wong on, or you play Zabu on 3, Wong on Wong and something a 4 cost. 2 4 costs on turn 4. You play Wong and another fucking 4 cost that has
play
an on
Wave?
reveal effect.
Then all your forecasts cost 2?
Well, actually, it doesn't work that way. I thought she did, but she doesn't.
Feels bad.
But yeah, whatever. But yeah, that was a tangent. But yeah, we That's all up. We talked about every main character. Night Owl was one we slightly talked about. Not really. He had a mentor. He was kind of a goody Boy Scout bullshit.
Right.
But
We mentioned him in the beginning. He was pretty good, and he was like
yeah,
kind of just recovering, still kind of buff,
'cause-
wanted to be a good guy, but he's not.
yeah,
When you watch it, and this is maybe it is unfair. If we don't mention something, it doesn't mean it's bad.
yeah.
It can still be good, but that's not the juice. That's not what you leave like, holy shit, that mattered a lot to me.
The juice was when what's her face was making out with that chick when they came back
Bro.
on the news. That was hot.
Nah, the juice was
Wait.
them fucking in the airship in the air. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's most
No,
of
that
the
shit was
shits.
funny when they were first trying to do it and he couldn't get it up.
Bro, feels bad. Poor guy.
Oh, well, we're on the topic of fucking Night Owl. The fuck does he have a minigun on his fucking owl? On his fucking ship?
Because you need it, just in case.
No! He has a minigun.
He also has a flamethrower. What kind of good can that do you?
I was like, why does that thing not have like an extinguisher or like a water gun on it? I was like, in the comics he has a water gun. That's actually when that fire that they go and save those people from in the whenever they decide to go be superheroes again.
Speaking of that stupid ass scene, the roof's caving in. We gotta save these people. So you drop a fucking 1,000-pound thing of water to cave it in even more?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. In the comic,
Stupid fucks.
he has a water gun thing, as well as a fucking flamethrower on his thing.
Makes sense.
He starts putting out the fire outside while she's inside trying to save the people, gather up the people.
Also, hey, those people are at the window. You have to get in there and save them. Then he flies to the window. She opens the window and they hop out of the window.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking just fly to the window. Okay, that scene was kind of stupid.
But yeah, no, he uses a minigun to shoot the water tower on top of the building.
I love that scene, though, to be fair. I
Why
loved it.
doesn't he just have a water gun on his fucking
No,
thing?
that scene was stupid, but I fucking loved how action-packed it was. That was there for the normies in the theaters.
This is called the Snyder effect.
That was there for the normies in the theaters to make it exciting.
Yeah. Oh my god. Nah, if he just had a water gun there, it'd be fine. Fine. But motherfucker had to have a fucking... You can make him putting out the fire like action oriented. You can do that. If I could be in suspense when Thor's making a hammer, you can make it suspenseful of him putting out the fire.
That's true. That is true. You probably could have done that pretty well, at least well
You
enough.
can make a poker scene suspenseful. You can make anything suspenseful if you're a good enough director. Not to say that Zack Snyder's not a good enough director.
Right,
it's just that he has these sensibilities towards action, and he prefers to have his big action set pieces.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of action set pieces, when he dumped that fucking fry vat on that dude's face, oh my god. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
Oh
Holy
my god.
shit, that
I
scene
love that
was so
line.
fucking
I remember
good.
what we were playing, and I fucking yelled that shit out when we were playing.
That shit was good. I actually forgot that was like a meme for a little bit.
I thought you knew whenever I fucking quoted that one time we were playing something. I can't remember what the hell we were playing.
I thought it was a Batman quote actually, because it was like Lost in Time.
No.
It was either Batman or Joker. I think I remembered it being a Joker quote from Dark Knight.
No, it's
when he went to prison.
Nah, he just kept going. I want my phone call.
Stupid fuck my phone call.
I just want my phone call.
Oh my god, what a stupid asshole! God damn it! And that's
so
stupid
funny.
awkward shit. It just worked out so well.
He finally coaxed that guy into trying to beat him up, and then he fucking held him up with a knife. And they're like, "What do you want?" He's like, "I just want my phone call."
Right?
Like that's so. When we're talking about like comedy, like that's not funny, but it's funny in the scene because he just wants his fucking phone call. And sure enough, his fucking phone call is this phone bomb he has in the that he put a phone into somebody's fucking a phone bomb. And those exist, by the way.
Right.
A lot of C4s are that way. They're made with a phone attached to it, and whenever when the call goes off, it goes and it explodes.
Right.
So like, oh, that's so good. I
Yeah,
love
no,
it.
there was, I can't remember what else if there was any more, but that shit. I liked when he talked to the one bad guy. I like that that one the old school bad guy who they put in jail. Um,
Uh, uh, Malak.
Malik.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was really well done as a character. He was like,
yeah,
please don't confiscate that. Like,
yeah,
fuck, man. He said that with such honesty,
yeah.
and it was
He
like,
definitely
God
seems like a
damn,
dude who's like been like, Joe, I did my time. Please, I'm like,
he's
I'm done.
fucking
I'm not
almost
doing.
broken.
Yeah, man. Wait,
God,
that scene where fucking where the comedian comes to his house at night when he's explaining it. He even said I was peeing myself.
right. Like, god damn. Because you know comedian's fucking crazy. If he's there, he's probably drunk trying to kill you. Like,
Yeah.
you're thinking this is it. Like, holy shit, man. It's just, go watch it, you stupid fuckers, man. Holy.
I love it too because it's like, what's this? Oh, it shows the different how they all like reacted, and it shows between Spectre, the older Spectre, uh, the older Owl, comedian. What happened to the rest of their fucking like just how that shit affected their lives is just different.
Right.
Yeah, so good.
So, yeah, short
No.
story long. The movie's good.
Yeah,
Um, go watch it.
hell yeah.
Also, like and subscribe. Make us really famous and rich.
We got a bunch we got a bunch of links in the description.
Yeah, do that.
Go
Links are
go
good.
do our Patreon, go do all the things. We ain't on Twitter yet. I can't be bothered with Twitter yet.
Yeah, no, don't, not a chance. Maybe one day.
I'm already too busy.
We'll become
But if y'all,
famous
if
one
y'all
day.
subscribe to our Patreon, maybe I can quit my job.
Bro, could you imagine?
Yeah.
we get enough fans you can actually do this shit.
Exactly.
Anyway, so whatever you guys want.
People like
speak
seeing
of.
how like yeah, like
Fans,
raw
like and
live
subscribe.
reactions.
Tell us what you want. Put it in the comments.
Yeah.
No, do this.
Hell
It'd
yeah.
be cool. And then we'll do it. And then if it sucks, we won't do it again. But we'll see.
Hell yeah.
Love you guys.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.